welcome to RPG Reanimators. It's a live actual play of Heaven and Earth. Today we have a host, Matt Sanderson, here to run us through the game. Matt, what's the scenario titled?
This is a one night in the woods, or maybe one day in the woods. Let's say, yeah, an excursion out into this lovely verdant woodland that surrounds Potter's Lake. Nothing bad ever happens there. It's all good. So this should
Nice
be
nature walk.
a nice, quiet, friendly adventure. Yeah.
All right, well, let's take it away.
Right. We are round the late spring, early summer in Potter's Lake, this lovely town in Kansas, about 30 miles or so from Kansas City. It's a nice, quiet, little quaint place. Some of you live there already. Others are coming in from Kansas City, a little bit further away. You've all been instructed by, say, a mutual friend, as per your backgrounds, to meet at Deek's Bar and Grill, which is this lovely roadhouse-style diner down at the end of a long road, or that goes off the main road that connects the highway. Eventually goes through lots of farmland, past an Air Force base, and down. Eventually goes down into the town itself. This is off at a junction, goes down a long road that culminates with the lovely atmosphere of St Anselm's College on the left-hand side of the road, and then the gushing, polluting presence of the Southie paper mill on the other side of the road, with Deeks right in the middle between the two at the end of this little cul-de-sac. It's the heart, or it's the social heart of the town, depending on who you ask. Although mostly everyone's going to say that it is. It's the place to be. There's lots of business deals that get conducted here in booths out the back. There's live music here most nights. It's got a great stock of local booze and other such purveyors. But yeah, it's the place to be. Although you guys are turning up at about midday, which is just about when it's starting to open, so there's not really many other people there now. So you're very much the first crowd to head in. We'll do a quick round the table, and if everyone wants to introduce their characters in terms of what they look like, how they're acting as they're pulling up into the gravel parking lot out at the front of this Roadhouse bar. And just because the order that's on it's my screen, Quinn, you go first.
All right, is Ashley and Denise, are they with us at the moment?
Yes.
Wonderful. In that case, Quinn will show up in a outdoorsy outfit that is brand new, is clearly maybe seen one wash, if that. And he's got slicked back hair and he's kind of kicking the gravel as he steps out of the car and he walks over and opens the door for one of these two women that are obviously sisters. Uh, he's got a smile that maybe his teeth are a little crooked, but he doesn't seem to mind. He's just yucking it up as he's ladies, right this way. Welcome, welcome to Deek's Bar and scenic Potter's Lake. Ah, smell
Yeah,
that. Smell that fresh. Oh, paper mill air. Okay. Oh, let's get inside.
yeah, it's definitely got an aroma. And for the camera and the rest of the audience, the other two ladies that come out, they evidently, as mentioned already, sisters. So there's a lot of familiar resemblance there. The first one, Ashley, comes out very much dressed like Quinn. Doesn't look as though she's maybe again washed her clothes maybe once. They definitely don't seem to have got much of an outdoor use as yet, but at least vaguely appropriate to the kind of hike that's been foretold that you're going on. Also carrying a large bag, with a bit like a doctor's medical bag, but definitely full of stuff that she's got. And the other one comes out with garish sunglasses perched on her face, dressed like she's almost ready to go out sunbathing somewhere on a beach rather than go hiking through the woods. She is very impractically dressed, even down to the almost high heels on her feet. Next round, Grover. What do we see about you?
Yes. Grover shows up wearing just a button-up collared shirt, um, checked pattern on it, worn out jeans, pair of boots, very typical kind of Midwestern attire that a lot of folks wear. Ball cap on my head. Yeah, that's kind of what I look like.
Good. Again, definitely giving off more of the idea of someone that knows what they're doing in an outdoor environment. All right. And next round, Floretta, how about you?
Yeah, she'd be pulling up with probably very similar to Grover, long sleeve shirt, jeans, higher boots, ready to get into the woods, avoid the ticks, baseball cap, blonde hair, pulled back into a ponytail.
One of the joys of nature, and thankfully I managed to avoid over here, ticks. It's why I like my creature comforts inside. Right. And Terrell.
So Terrell is a very muscular man in a colored long sleeve shirt, work boots, and like overalls, denim overalls. He's obviously a working man. You can see his like chest bulging out from his outfit, and he's way more towny than mobster, but the slick back hair gives away the mobster part.
Got it. Right. So the six of you, so the four plus your two NPCs, head in through the front door, and the place is pretty much deserted. You can hear there are people around though, so it's not though there's no one here. But there's no one on the initial kind of dance floor area that you can see in front of you. There's a stage beyond that, red curtains on either side, and a single mic stand up front, and no one there. Noise is coming off to your right, so as your eyes turn around, you can see this long bar that runs the length of the building. You can see a couple of folks down the very far end of the bar, behind the bar. There's an Asian man who's polishing a glass. And then there's another more so well-built lady that's behind there getting coffee ready, and you can see her cleaning the coffee machine as well. There's a corridor that runs along the bar, which goes to the dining area out back, and you can see an entrance about halfway along that corridor that goes off to where the sign points toilets that way. But otherwise, yeah, you are aware that a certain Mr. Wincliffe, who you've been given the name of, has a booth out the back.
Well, I think Quinn is just kind of standing by the bar trying to get the coffee woman's attention to, bring a little bit in. It's been a bit of a car ride from Kansas City, so it'd be nice to get some. And he's definitely on the lookout for you three because he's been told, I believe, that he's gonna contact some people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
You're aware of the booth in the back.
Yeah, you certainly, the locals here would
Yeah.
be very, very aware that that's a place where he conducts a lot of his more open business.
Right.
Well, if I see Quinn like ordering coffee at the booth, I will just slide on in and be like, Potter's Lake coffee, some of the best in the States. I'll put out my hand. It's a very big hand.
Oh, they built you big, huh, Quinn Patrickson?
Terrell
That's a pleasure.
Simmons, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. It's this over here is Ashley and Denise. They'll be our experts for the day.
And Ashley gives you a warm kind of smile and a nod, and Denise is more perky, kind of the grinning and the waving type.
Yeah, I'll just wander over and introduce myself as well to the group. Hey guys, I'm Grover.
Oh, what a great name! Hey,
I
Grover.
know. Really, I've always liked my name, actually.
Well, you should. It's a very friendly name.
It is a very
Grover.
friendly name. I was, affectionately, when I was a little kid, they always affectionately referred to me like Grover the Monster. kind of thing from Sesame Street.
Who? I'm kidding.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
kidding.
I'm not sure that was affectionate, Grover. And I'll
Oh,
sort of
was it?
sidle over.
Oh, well, anyway.
Oh, we'll take care of you, city folk.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. I think we're gonna get along like house on fire. But what do we have to do to get some little bit of something in the coffee around here?
Yeah, I say the rather well-built lady comes down to the end of the bar. Says, "Oh, you folks are getting started early, right? Yeah, some of you I know, some of you I don't know. The name's Sharon. So I'm the kind of your local well bartender, etc. Pretty much general dog's body at Deeks. What can I get for you?
I'll take the countryman's breakfast.
Oh, yeah, so I'm sure we'll get an EG here, get him working in the kitchen soon. So we'll rustle you something up. Yeah,
Coffee with a little something in it, please.
sure. Any particular preference on the something or?
You know what? Nothing too strong. I've kind of pats his shirt pocket. I've got a little bit for the road already, so maybe just a little to get me started.
Okay, so he writes Irish in lowercase, and then by Terrell when he's talking about breakfast, he's just the number 5 question mark exclamation mark steaks.
Ordering 5 steaks. That would be funny.
Just black coffee for me.
No, tried and tested, no problem there.
Yeah, no, I'll have a black coffee too, please.
Great stuff. Right, if you want to sit yourselves down somewhere, I'll bring all your drinks and bring all your food ready when it's done.
Am I the only one eating here?
I ate before I came. I'm a prepared outdoors person.
I'm professional.
Yeah, I don't eat much breakfast.
What about Ashley or Denise? They eating? It's good to eat.
Yeah, they'll take pancakes or something for the road. Although Sharon does catch notice when you say about outdoorsy type, and she kind of looks a little quizzically at you and says, "Oh, are you planning on doing some hiking around here, or?"
Yeah, I mean, we're dressed for it, right?
Some of us are.
Yeah, yeah. Denise is still oblivious, but you yeah, just as you say, you're not locals. Some of you aren't anyway. So just yeah, be careful around here. Just keep to the paths, and you should be okay.
He kind of look at the other three. Do we have bears or something?
Oh, no. It's just
Pumas?
this has been just sort of people get out here, they think they're having a good time, and then they find out they're not prepared. Uh, Accidents happen or whatnot. So yeah, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. It's all good. You'll be fine.
Remember, we're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a stroll through the woods. That's all we're doing. Just a stroll through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, we've got Terrell the Bear Simmons with us. He didn't take care of anything.
Bear, huh?
I got my bear repellent right here.
Yeah,
Let's
he'll
hope it's
protect
a
us. You can rely on him.
Yeah, let's hope it's a small bear, huh?
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Right. You settle up with food orders and such, so on. I say she'll bring food and drink over when it's ready. Whereabouts do you want to go and park yourselves? Do you want to go looking for Wincliffe, or do you want to wait out in the kind of the dance hall area?
I don't mind going to look for Wincliffe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
we're due.
Those who've been a bit more brave go down the corridor and then towards the dining area at the back. And you notice probably out of the corner of your eye, although if you've been in Deeks before, you probably noticed this more beforehand anyway, that as you go past that corridor that goes off towards the toilets, there is a lovely large framed painting of the lake at least what would be a picture of the lake as if you were standing on maybe the banks of the or the shore down by Trist Park, so down there where the kind of the middle of the physical town is, rather than this being the heart of the social life. The actual physical heart of the town is down there. Lovely picturesque waters, maybe occasional boat out on the far towards the far shores, trees obviously on the far side, and a little bit below that there's a ledge that's been propped up onto the or put up onto the wall underneath that, where there are lots of candles which have been burnt down over various periods of time. Everything from tea lights to big, chunky, almost altar style candles. And tucked into the frame all around the picture are pictures of young boys and girls that are maybe everything from babies up to mid-teens, various either Polaroids or other fully developed pictures. Some of them are curled around the edges. The colors started to fade on them. They've been here for a long time. So this whole setup looks like it's been active over quite a few years. Yeah, you pass on down through the corridor towards the restaurant area, and greeting you there is a fellow that you've almost certainly three of you have all met before. A bit of a brick outhouse guy by the name of Morelli, Anthony, or as most people call him, Tony Morelli. Very much your Italian American legitimate businessman vibe that he gives off. Kind of as he cracks his knuckles with the amount of bling that's hanging off him. Says, you'd be the team that's here to deal with the frogs, yeah?
That's
Yeah.
us.
Right. Come on down. I've got Mr. Wincliffe already in situ, so we can have a nice little chat, yeah?
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. And he leads you off through this dining area. There's a lovely set of windows on one side that give a nice view of the lake. Again, lovely, picturesque environment. Nothing looks like nothing bad could ever happen out there. And off in the far corner, there is this big table that could easily fit about 10 around it, with a booth-style bench seats on half side of it, and then 5 other seats, which are around the other side of the table, rather than say the bench seats. And sat there is a man that you think probably would be in his early to mid 50s, kind of salt and pepper style hair. It's going slightly grey around the ears, wearing a polo shirt, but yeah, otherwise looking fairly unassuming. He's got a briefcase next to him that's just laid up on the chair. He is currently tucking into some steak and eggs. And yeah, he sees you coming over and says, "Oh well, welcome everyone. So please take any seat you like." Apart from this one, obviously, I've over the years I've got definitely got this groove on this particular cushion well laid out to my specifications. And he bounces up and down on the chair a bit.
Well, it's a wonderful spot. You've got Mr. Wiseman sends his regards, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and appreciates your cooperation. Goes in for the handshake.
Yeah, he gives you a warm handshake back. That's good. Good to see. Good to hear Joseph doing well for himself up in Kansas City. So,
Oh, so it's always things could be worse, things could be better, but we're always looking for the next big thing. And I see you've brought us some strapping guides to guide us through the dangers.
yeah, he gestures to Grover, Floretta, and Terrell. Says, "Yeah, these are some of the local guys and girls that we're helping you out here. I certainly have got very very little interest in going hiking. I've got far too much to be getting on with, but I'm sure you'll have a fun time out there, and everything will go swimmingly." So, and you're all briefed on what your kind of goals and intentions are here. Does anyone need any clarifications on what's going to happen from here, or?
No, we got it, boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he smiles and gives you a thumbs up. So,
Yeah, Now, I'm just I'm a little unclear myself. If I'm being honest, I'm not. This might shock you. I'm not much of an outdoorsy kind of person myself.
Mhm.
Now, we're looking for this frog pond. Is it the frogs that are psychedelic, or is it the? And he kind of thinks and like, oh,
Mhm.
is it the frogs or the algae that we're looking for?
Well, from what I've been told, I mean, I'm going off a lot of the information that apparently was relayed by St. Anselm's bunch that went wandering out there back in '99. They went looking for the frog pond to study the frogs, but I believe they didn't actually find the pond itself, but they found that at least an area or little patches of water out there, and it was around in those kind of stagnant pools that they found the algae in there. So I think it's more the algae that's got this property than rather than the frogs themselves. You can go out there and kiss as many frogs as you like, and if any of them turn into lovely princes, you're welcome to carry them home. So knock yourself out.
Well, I don't make it a habit, and he kind of looks at Ashley and Denise. Denise, keep it to yourself.
Um, no, she kind of almost pouts in a joking fashion and says, "Ah, but I want to take home a prince."
Uh, Prince of Potter's Lake. I think Mr. Wincliffe might not agree with that. Um,
Less
have y'all,
competition for me.
yeah, have any of you, kind of pointing at the others, have any of you found this lake before? This frogs? What is this?
Does this lake have a name?
It's just known as the Frog Pond.
Oh,
I
frog
mean,
pond.
there's so many just rumors and tales of this thing existing that it's more people just stumble across it out there. I mean, this is one of just a number of crazy tales that are told about the woods.
I think we've got an idea of where it is.
Should be easy then.
Trusting our guides.
Well,
Grover here knows the woods like the back of his hand.
Yeah, I can find it. I can find it.
wonderful. Well, I say the sooner started, the sooner we're back here for a nice steak dinner. Daryl, if you leave any for the rest of us.
They come
Right.
out with these five steaks layered with a couple of bullets, kind of desperate Dan style, poking out of the top of this meat mountain that you've been given.
Excellent. I guess I won't have time to eat, so I might have to get some steaks to go.
So she comes over to say, when she puts it on the table and gives us a slap on the shoulder, and it's like, honey, if you finish it all in half an hour, it's free.
And get my photo on the wall.
Damn right. Although, not round the corner, but we've got somewhere where we can put photos up. Yeah.
Okay. Do I know why they keep the photos in this specific?
That sounds like it could be a good opportunity for the first roll of the game.
Woo!
So, that's going to be a knowledge roll.
Okay.
It's not something that's particularly hidden. I mean, Deke doesn't keep the reason for that memorial secret in any way, shape, or form. It's just you have to either have asked him or known about it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to put that as average because the D12 doesn't get enough love. So
Oh boy.
D12 plus your knowledge, and see if you get a 9 or more.
Oh no, I got a 5 total.
Okay. You heard it referred to as a
Oh.
bit like a memorial, but you don't know memorial for who.
Right. I'm not dead, so. Can I attempt to eat these steaks under 30 minutes?
You're gonna go for the Meat Mountain challenge.
Is this a strength roll? I feel like
This,
or fortitude.
yeah, well, fortitude is mental willpower.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is more going to be yeah, I'm gonna say strength.
Hell
That's
yeah.
the closest really stat to it. There's no the equivalent of a con roll for this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I also argue for my athletics extracurricular skill?
I will buy that.
Nice.
Difficulty for this. This is a lot of meat you're gonna try and get through. I'm gonna put this as hard, so a D8.
All right, let's go. The target number is 9, right?
Oh yes.
All right, I do have a +5, so 11.
you gobble it down with time to spare. You are affectionately going to be nursing your meat baby for the rest of the day.
That's okay.
But
I just see it as fuel,
yeah,
pure fuel for this hike.
you're gobbling this down, slicing
Everyone's
into this,
looking
into
horrified.
especially as you're slicing into this with this great big sharp steak knife, blood oozing out over the plate. And yeah, this is some nice kind of medium rare meat here, and it's tasty as hell. But yeah, Sharon comes over within the half an hour and just like blinks and does this kind of double take and go, "What? This early in the day? Oh well."
I'll take my photo now, and
Yeah,
I'll have my photo taken. Thank
Do
you.
you want to take it after you got the meat sweats worked out, or
No, I think we need to capture this primal essence right now.
Mhm. I should have done the before and after.
they weren't expecting to have then be in need of a before photo.
I'll be sure to get a picture of the ambulance as it takes you away.
Yeah, Potter's Lake Memorial Hospital is not too far away from here. In which case, Deke will the owner will come out to do a nice presentation style photo of displaying the empty plate between you, and then handing over your money back for the meal.
Wow, what a steal! What a steal!
Yeah, Deke's a nice guy. He's in his late 50s, early 60s, you think, or maybe mid to late 60s. It's a bit hard to peg his age. Slightly receding hairline. Again, very much check shirt type. Very much nursing the beer belly by this point. Okay. But yeah, nice enough guy. You've probably met him before being here. He's not one of these aloof owners that stays away from the place. He lives just upstairs. So yeah, he'll just come down and does the whole presentation for you. And as I give you a clap on the shoulder again, says, "Well done, son. You can come back here anytime. We'll get you one day.
Thank you. I'll flex the guns for the photo."
Yeah, we'll find a stake that will take you down. Don't worry.
Okay. I look forward to it.
While this is happening, I kind of want to have a private conversation with my brother off to the side.
Yeah, you can certainly do that while there's the photo op going off on one corner.
Well,
yeah.
Also, potentially during the half hour, sitting there watching him eat a steak, eat 5 steaks. Sure, there's time.
He's getting a second wind in the background.
Yeah. So I'll pull him to the side and I'll say, there's something you should know.
What's that?
First of all, good to see you.
Yeah. How have you been?
Trying to get out.
I get it. I'm not exactly where I want to be either, but doing the best I can.
I mean, you're here, so I appreciate that. But we need to protect Quinn. We need to turn him.
Okay. Is that
Wiseman wants him dead.
Ah, interesting.
So,
okay.
So yeah, we have to either convince Terrell that he's useful, or we need to get rid of Terrell somehow.
Okay. Is this benefiting your other work?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm here to do what I can for you. You are my #1 priority in this whole mission. So no matter what happens out here, this is a pretty dangerous place that we're walking into.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, anything goes down, like, you're my priority.
Okay.
So, but
Um,
I'll
I
help
think
you.
as long as we survive, we're good. But I think it would be
Yeah.
really helpful if we could protect Quinn.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
Um,
see what we can do. We'll just have to kind of take it as it goes, you know.
yeah.
Hell, Terrell might kill over from all the cholesterol he's in.
That's true. Maybe this is a good thing. Um, I didn't think to poison the steaks, but that might have been suspicious from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, it's best to keep it on the down low. Yeah. No, this
Mhm.
is MSG, I promise.
Yeah. Um, all right. I just wanted to sort of square things from the beginning so that
Yeah.
we were honest with each other, you know,
Okay.
going forward.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's kind of good to know. Um, so yeah, we'll see how things go.
All right. And I'll sort of pat him on the back and just sort of like pretend like we were having like a bonding moment or something, just in case they're watching, and
Works.
go back to the table and
I could almost picture
cheer Terrell on.
we could have had a good recreation of that moment from The Simpsons where Dr. Hibbert is presiding over Terrell's body going, this man died of meat poisoning, obviously from some other establishment. But
Yeah, exactly. I don't keep rat poison with me, unfortunately. I think that's maybe not reasonable.
all right, but yeah, there's say photo ops taken. There's Ashley looking on very wide-eyed but impressed kind of fashion. Denise seems to be focused more on Quinn rather than the meat mountain going on there. Otherwise, Morelli and Wincliffe they keep to themselves on one side. Once Wincliffe's done with his meager portion in comparison to Terrell, they will take their leave. Apart from Morelli, will as Wincliffe heads out, Morelli says to who's the guide again? To Grover, says your best point. See, at least recommendation is to take the path into the woods on the other side of the paper mill. So that I understand that's where apparently the team in '99 from the university went off in that direction.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, just head out there, do your thing. You know the woods better than I do, anyway. And once everything's been taken care of, let us know. And yeah, that's it. It's the ball's in your collective court now.
All right. Well, we're gonna go out and this is gonna be a nice stroll. A nice stroll.
Yeah, he just nods and smiles.
Yeah, and I nod and smile back.
No,
A
yeah,
minute
and
of just
with that
smiles and nods. Yes, yes.
nothing dodgy going on here at all. And yeah, he turns and heads out with his boss. And outside, you'll hear a car start up, and yeah, they drive away.
Well,
And we're walking from here. Is that the
Yeah, to
ideas
get
within walking?
yeah, I mean the
Okay.
woods surround Potter's Lake. To give you an idea on the rough geography of the place, you have this almost kidney bean shaped lake that runs long ways north to south. The woods surround the lake on three sides. You're off towards kind of the northeastern corner, past that kind of where land bellies slightly into the lake. So you're up on that edge, but you can easily walk anywhere in the area. It's a relatively small town. It's like 20,000 population. So it's not a big place, but it's big enough to have quite a diverse bunch of people that live here. And yeah, there are some characters in town.
well, I don't know about the three of you, but I am excited to get cracking on. Terrell, you gonna be able to keep up with all that extra weight you got there, bud?
I'll be in the back.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Come on, Ashley and Denise, I guess. Let's pack up our stuff and Grover, please lead the way.
Okay. And I'm gonna follow the suggestion and go to where we were told to enter the woods at, and make our way.
I want to
Right.
try and flag down Floretta.
Yeah, I'll hang back. I was gonna say towards the back. Keep an eye on Quinn and Ashley.
Hmm.
So we gotta kill Quinn. But
Um,
I don't know if there's any other way we can do this without bloodshed.
yeah, I think Denise will have an issue with if we attempt something on Ashley.
You don't think there's gonna be
And
an alternative? Just tell him to fuck off, never be seen again.
I mean, if we can, that would be the preferred method is to get rid of them.
Okay, I'll try for that.
Blackmail, maybe, or
Or maybe we just say, hey, your boss wants you dead. You should probably fuck off forever. And
yeah,
they'll be thankful for that.
I think so.
Yeah.
You're
That's
looking
kind of
for
cold.
a reward out of this?
Oh, from them?
Yeah.
We can try and swing it so that
Alright.
we get off pretty happy.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
I'd prefer
So we have an
money over
understanding.
murder. Hmm.
Murder is more complicated.
It is. Yeah. Over killing 3 people, I'd prefer to get paid.
Yes.
All
Well,
right.
we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
Ooh, gotta walk off these stakes, I'll say loudly.
Quinn
Nothing to
is
hear
probably
here. It's all good.
Quinn
And
is just
I'll
talking at Grover this whole time in the background.
Yeah. I'm pointing out things to Quinn as we're going along. Very, very tourist guide kind of natural park service kind of person.
In fact, there are a couple of things to point out here. That the route by which you enter the woods, at least at this particular area, is a very, very well trodden path. Um, it goes from the university grounds, say round the paper mill, and then out into the woods up to a very slowly, gently incline going uphill. It gets to a very prominent local landmark that you would be aware of called the Devil's Claw. It looks like this old dead tree that's been split in the middle by lightning years ago, but it looks like this hand or this claw, as per the name, coming out of the ground and trying to reach for the sky, but it's been split midway through and then, say, gradually parting. There are other hints of occasional growth on the thing. You can see some shoots occasionally bloom at certain times of the year. People have said that there is apparently like an apple that will hang from some of the very high, not branches, well, yeah, the high boughs and branches of the tree right towards the top. So yeah, very very old apple tree. The local custom is that kids and particularly university students come out here as almost like a fraternity or like not hazing ritual, but definitely kind of like a coming of age or coming of age rite of passage, that they come out to the tree and tell ghost stories that all have to feature the tree in some fashion. And even though the rest of the woods has a bit of a reputation, should we say, nothing bad has ever happened around this tree. It's just lots of kids come out here and either slightly more adolescents come out and maybe have a good kind of drink and a little bonfire, and yeah, have a nice quiet little time out in this clearing. But yeah, this is a nice little oasis of dead tree with the occasional scattered beer can and bottle and discarded cigarette packets and old campfire circles towards the edge of the clearing. But then from here, there are a number of smaller paths that go off deeper into the woods. You say you're about a couple of miles in at this point, and then from here, there's just this canopy just extends off in every direction as far as the eye can see.
Is there a path we're following, or
This is pretty much up to you at this point. So there are 4 paths that go off pretty much 1, 2, 3, and 4. off in a 180-degree arc ahead of you. Nothing goes back apart from the trail you've come in from the kind of paper mill and the university area. So which path do you want to take, or do you want to forge your own path between any of those four?
We'll sort of jog up to the front and say quietly, Grover, do you actually know where we're going?
Um, roughly so. I've been in this woods a lot, actually doing some camping and hunting, so I'm a little bit familiar with it. Yeah. Um,
Okay. So you know which path we're following?
Right.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if you want to draw upon some of that local knowledge, you can get some hints of what's waiting for you. So, give me a knowledge roll using your hunter kind of specialty or any outdoorsman type activity. And this is, we'll put it as a D8 because this is not many people normally come out here. Maybe
Okay.
for good reason.
So knowledge plus my extracurricular of hunting. Okay,
Yep.
so that's 6. All right. And I roll a D8. And I rolled a 6.
There you go. So that will get you over your 9, so that's good. Right. There are a couple of local, what you could call landmarks that some of these paths you know where they head to. Number 1 will take you eventually, will kind of bring you back on yourself and bring you out towards Lover's Lane, which goes around the lake itself. It's a nice little, as the name suggests, loads of places have got this all over the, well, I was going to say all over the country, it's all over the world, where it's a nice secluded road with little kind of laybys where the local kids go to have some fun. It's again, that's got some stories attached to it, but that's the destination anyway, where it's where that path heads. Number 2 heads through the woods as very much like a scenic trail that is just eventually will loop back on itself and will come out very near where the Gas and Gospel is, this lovely gas station that's on the other side of town. So that's quite a long route through the woods, but not very deep into the woods. So it's probably the scenic path.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, that goes to and again, a landmark that you would be aware of because it's pretty much been cut by the university over the years, goes to a place called Megiddo's Hill. It's a very odd little place. It's, again, a raised mound where there's this black rock that's almost like a spike coming up from the ground that's supposed to be covered in like old pictograms of old, maybe Native American origin. So that goes off towards, say, Megiddo's Hill with lots of old pictograms on there, supposed to be of Native American origin, but you've probably not been out there. That's one place you know of, but you haven't been to.
Okay.
And then the 4th trail goes off towards what you think you've heard are a series of like old hunters' cabins. So it's a trail that goes much deeper into the woods, but it's a place where this is one that you almost certainly have been to. Where there are a number of cabins and lodges that are set up for people that if they want to spend time out there on extended hunting trips, they'll use these as like caches where they will put resources off in those places. And there are a number of branches that go off, or each of these 4 paths that go off deeper into the woodland.
Okay. And would I know if one of them was more would take us to this frog pond?
Well, the frog pond has, I'll let your success ride. The frog pond is a bit of a problem for even yourself, because all the stories about it, anyone that goes looking for it never finds it. It's only folks that when they get lost ever find it. So hence why no one ever knows where exactly this thing is, because they've never been able to track down where it is that they found it because they're lost at that point. But there's a couple of more likely candidates for you to think of. If I'm going to go somewhere and maybe go off the beaten track and see if I stumble across it, it would either be paths 3 or 4. You'd either be looking at the old hunting trail, or you'd be going up towards Megiddo's Hill and then forging your own path off the tracks from there to maybe get either back onto path 2 or path 4, and that you hopefully you might stumble across it on the journey between those two more beaten tracks.
Okay. Hmm. Do I want to go into the deep woods, or do I want to go somewhere I've never been before? It's a good question. I'm going to actually hazard a guess that since I've never been to Megiddo's Hill, we can try that route and kind of wander around in that particular area. Maybe hit one of the other trails that you mentioned if we need to. So yeah, let's go that direction.
Gotcha. Right. You lead the group off in a very maybe pause for a moment thinking and then head off path 3 that way.
I have full trust in Grover. He knows what he's doing.
He said he'd protect me. So
What a beautiful day to just go walking around the wood. I can see why you all like this so much. Ashley, we should all come out here at some point, just enjoy nature.
Oh, how is nature, city boy?
So far, lovely. I've seen so many birds that you never get to see in the city. And he takes a hit of a flask that he's got in his pocket. It smells pretty rank. Maybe like a very cheap alcohol. Like the kind where you're standing maybe 2 feet away and you're going, "Oh no, that might rot your teeth."
That's mighty powerful there.
Woo! Yep. You want to take a try?
Sure,
Slosh,
I'll try
slosh.
some of this Kansas City water.
It's basically what the spit bucket would have at
Jesus
the end of a
Christ.
night. Yeah, it's very, very bad.
What's wrong with you? I will say.
I just like something with a little bit of a kick to it.
Let's give you your flask back.
Thank
And
you.
kind of wipe my mouth.
Where you get some Bacardi 151 to really rinse your mouth out with to do an
sanitize
extra good
everything.
job. Yeah. Right, as you're trudging on through, the only real thing that happens in this time is if you pass by one tree, looks like another tree. Oh, there's another tree over there. Look, there's some more trees. Who would have thought? More trees. You do hear this little bit of a kind of complaint and grumbling coming from Denise, and eventually she does say, "Oh, gotta stop for a second," and she pulls off her shoe, and perplexedly as she tips this thing out, it's got a high heel. It's not like a stiletto, but it has got a little bit of an actual shoe to it. She turns it upside down, and just sand just pours out of her shoe, as if she's been walking on a beach somewhere. But what the hell? She just shakes all this sand out, takes off her other shoe, and then again turns it over, and just more sand just starts running out of this thing.
I swear, Quinn, I've had better from a bathtub. Also, Denise, what's going on?
Well, you tell me. I just felt all this shit in my shoes. I thought I maybe stepped in something, but what the hell?
How much sand is coming out of her shoes?
Like her shoes good, like as if someone has used her shoe to like scoop up some sand.
That's a lot of sand
on a beach. Yeah.
How did you
Just some
just
kind of
notice
city
this
prank?
now, Denise?
yeah.
Oh, I thought it's just since we left that clearing with that big old tree.
Is there
Yes,
a lot of sand around us? I don't think so.
You look
None at
around
all.
you. This is a normal spring summer woodland. There's no sand here.
Right. What is the color of the sand? Is it like more white, or is it like a gritty, dirty?
It's more the gritty, dirty type. In fact, there are some that you can see there are black flecks in it as well. But yeah, definitely not. Well, you would assume not native to this area. This would be down by a beach. This should have been collected.
I don't
It's weird.
even know where you could go around finding this. Well, let's. Did you bring a backup pair, Denise?
Backup pair? I don't think we're going to be going long enough to worry about a backup pair.
I like to think Quinn and Ashley kind of share a look like, oh no, this again. Well, let's clean it out, Denise, and let's keep going. We do have a bit of a schedule to keep, don't you think?
Yeah, she shakes her head and kind of again taps out the both shoes, slides her feet back in, and goes, "I hope I don't get blisters."
Well, if you do, make sure you tell us about it, Denise. Anyways, nature, huh? Where are we headed? Where do we take the trip off to this frog pond, Grover?
That way.
And pointing straight down the path still.
Fair enough.
Yeah, another couple of miles hike. So you're probably about 4 or 5 miles in at this point. This is very, very deep woodland. You can hear around you there are signs of like larger animals starting to become more apparent. As you start to trudge through, you can hear like the deer start to scatter deeper into the woods. Thankfully, there's no call for Terrell to get out his bear repellent yet. You can't see anything potentially that big, but you can see there are signs like squirrels. There are some birds of prey out here. Thankfully, nothing like snakes or anything like that to worry about. Bambi, however, if he comes close enough, you could definitely get a nice bit of venison.
Right hook.
I think you've had enough steaks.
Oh, that'd be great. Bringing some nice venison back to Deeks. You think he'll cook it up for us? Pretty sure he will.
He
Might.
probably would, but I'm not dragging that thing out of the woods.
I'll do it. I'll just throw it over my shoulder. It'll be fine.
You do that. You do that.
It comes between the man and his meat.
Very meat-centric behavior. We're all meat.
Right. So about that 4 or 5 mile mark, you do start to feel a bit of a chill in the air. That maybe it's just the breeze that passes through. Maybe someone walked over your grave. But yeah, up ahead you can see this mound. I'll say mound. It's quite a big feet across. It's about maybe 50 meters wide. But then gently becomes this nice slope with trees coming out of it. But there is this black spire leaning off at an angle. I have a bit of a better description of it here. It's a triangular slab of rock, 2 feet thick, 4 feet wide, and 8 feet tall, with these jagged edges that maybe implied at one time that it was straighter, or maybe it was artificial. Maybe at some point this thing was crafted to be here. But over a long time, it has worn down, so the edges are no longer straight there, so they are jagged. There are sharper in some points than others, leaning slightly to one side, so it goes off about that kind of angle, pointed up towards the sky, almost like a missile. That's the best angle you could think of it, pointing towards the sky. It's covered with these weather-worn pictograms that some of them look like stick figures, others look like they maybe are symbols that represent words, but there's certainly no language that you city folk or you criminal types would be able to decipher just by looking at it. This is old stuff and it looks ancient. And this whole area just stands out as being something wrong about it. There's just that cold feeling, a chill of the wind definitely puts you on edge.
Fancy rock.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, it's you know what, Grover, I'm a bit of a navigational kind of person myself. I'm gonna go take a look from the top of the hill and see if I see any signs of frogs. All right.
Yeah, sounds great. Help yourself. Be careful up there.
Uh,
And while he's doing that, I'd like to kind of take a moment, if I could, to see if I could orient myself uh, in my where I am.
Yeah, I mean, as you succeeded on your roll to go work out whereabouts you were going, so I'll let your success ride on that. You're fairly sure, so you're about, you think probably closer to 5 miles into the woods at this point. So you're not central, but you've got easily another 15, 20 odd miles ahead of you, and that extends out and obviously further wider in each direction to the from where you are to the east and west. It's about, you think maybe 15, 20 to the north would get you outside of the woods, well, out very much out of Potter's Lake territory at that point, like into the neighboring counties. That's just fields and farmland the further north you go from here. And then obviously back will be your 5 miles back to the path where you came in. But yeah, you're middle of nature, middle of nowhere out here.
yeah, Quinn's going to try and just go up and touch the kind of actually end up leaning on it. Very obviously at this point trying to show off for Ashley to be like, oh yeah, not afraid of something like a rock. Ah,
Okay, as you go up and touch this thing, you can give me a fortitude roll.
nice.
This
And
will be a D10, so challenging.
this is a challenging rock. All right, I have a fortitude of 3, and my lawyer occupation has no relevance here. I did roll a 6. Wait, yes, a 6, or is that a 9? That's a 6. All right, it's a 6, but I did have a
Well, there's
plus
the
3,
D10.
so I hit the 9.
All right. In which case, yeah, you touch this thing, and yeah, for a moment, just chill runs down your spine. It's almost as if you touch something very cold. But you turn around with your kind of your macho macho man pose as you lean up against this thing. So you turn, you see Grover off looking around, getting his bearings. Terrell off. Well, what's Terrell doing at this moment?
Honestly, I'm enjoying the scene. It's a
Okay,
good
just
day.
standing back and taking in everything around
And
you.
hopefully no one has to die today.
Yeah, it's always a good day when that happens. Yeah.
Kind
Um,
of I have I'm kind of nervously when I think about people dying. I'm just touching the brass knuckles in my pocket.
mhm. Just holding on. Floretta?
Just anxiously watching Quinn because at this point, if he's not going to die, I really want him to survive. So just making sure that he's not doing anything stupid.
Gotcha. So you're keeping an eye on Quinn.
Yeah.
And then so you see those three as described, and then you kind of filter around towards Ashley and Denise. Um, Ashley's looking on, her arms slightly crossed, just comfortably in front of her, looking on at you with a smile on her face. Denise looking on towards you, kind of with a big grin, kind of almost maybe slightly a provocative kind of hand on her hip, doing a little bit of a pose for you. And then the guy that's dressed in a grey suit, white shirt, black tie, that stood directly behind Ashley, with his hand on her shoulder, looking at you. You can see kind of half of his face leaning out from behind her, that just has this grin on him, and you do this kind of double take of what the fuck, and when you look back, there's no one stood behind her.
Did we all see that?
No, that's just Quinn.
Oh,
But you
just
said
Quinn.
you were
Okay.
looking at Quinn, so
Mhm.
you do see him do this kind of what the hell kind of double take and look back.
Uh, 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 and he undoes the flask and takes. Well, actually, he puts the top back on it and then takes out a flask and takes a swig of it.
Mhm.
Ugh.
What's going on, Quinn?
Did you the habits hidden me. I could have sworn I saw someone. Is it anybody he'd recognize, just a guy, right? Guy in a suit.
You might recognize him. Give me a knowledge roll. This is in fact, how old are you?
Oh, I think he feels kind of young and stupid.
Hmm, okay.
So young.
Okay. And what kind of pop culture would you
Oh no.
consume?
Um, what would he be? Um, oh, psychedelic stuff. He's fallen in love with a druggie. So yeah, he's maybe trying to get into that kind of like trippy man sort of music of the day.
Okay, so yeah, maybe not quite relevant enough, but you might be able to peg him by having seen half of his face. I'm gonna put this as hard, so a D8.
All right. Luckily, I have awesome amounts of knowledge. Oh, 7 total is not gonna do it.
No, again, there's something familiar. Like you know you've seen him somewhere, but you can't peg where it is. But yeah,
Yeah, no, just a guy in a suit. This stuff is this stuff will rot your mind. It's another hit of it.
he says, taking another gulp.
Woo. Uh, all right. I didn't see any frogs though, so
None of us saw any frogs. Were you expecting to see frogs?
I was I was
Oh, I guess up on the hill.
hoping. Yeah, right. Well, like,
Is it high? It doesn't seem high.
well,
I
you
don't
know,
think there's any algae around us.
No.
uh, yeah, yeah. I'll walk back here with the ladies. You guys go ahead and figure this out.
Right.
Well, I look towards Grover. You orient yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a good sense of where we are. Yeah, yeah. We got
Do I
15, 20.
believe him?
You are very much out in the middle of nowhere now, so anywhere from here is considered off the beaten track. You would know to go back to path number 2 would be you'd be angling at maybe a southwesterly direction. To go off towards the hunter track, path 4, going off in the other direction, you'd be maybe looking at going due east from here. So they would be the 2 points that would be the safest to angle towards if you're looking to find a way back out to civilization.
All right, let's go.
I would say if you're waiting for Grover, what direction do you want to choose?
Well, I'm kind of gonna. I think what I'm gonna do is kind of play it a little bit safe and start to angle us toward route number 4, and that way, if things go south, well, if things go badly, we can at least pick up a trail, perhaps, and get ourselves out of here.
Okay, so you're heading east from here.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so as you start heading well off the beaten track, you're going to be making slightly less. You're moving slower. That's what I'm trying to angle at as you go off the beaten path. The sun, you started about kind of mid morning, so you're well past noon. It's now kind of early afternoon as you've got this far in. Can I have awareness rolls from folks? This is going to be relatively average, so a D12 on that. This is a noticing stuff type role. So if you've got an occupation that you think would give you an eye for detail or would give you a perk on being alert to stuff happening around you, then feel free to add that bonus in. Terrell's concentrating on his meat, baby. Yeah.
Emanating a masculine meat aura.
Quinn is
Doors.
busy with the sisters, just yeah, talking hushedly to them.
Yeah.
Also
I'm
have outdoors knowledge. Would I be able to add that?
Yep,
Okay.
that certainly works.
Yeah. I passed.
Okay, so pass on Floretta and Grover.
I did not pass.
Okay, so it sounds like Floretta's the only one that actually
Oh.
hears anything.
Yeah, I rolled a 6 and I was adding a bunch.
There you go. Right, so yeah, everything's kind of progressing along nicely. Maybe as you're, the rest of them, all five of them, are kind of walking along. Maybe occasional twig snaps, bird flutters off in the distance, squirrel runs away, or a mouse starts making some kind of scuffling noise on the floor, going through the undergrowth. They are all maybe talking, not amongst themselves, or not the whole group talking, but maybe one or two of them making comments that the ambient noise, it covers what you hear. So, or rather for them, it's providing too much of a distortion that they don't hear what you think sounds like maybe screaming or crying coming from somewhere to the north. But yeah, it sounds like the cries of what sound like a bunch of they're very feminine sounding voices coming from, definitely from somewhere to the north. A fair way off, you think. You hear echoes of it just occasionally wafting and bouncing through the trees when the wind hits you in the right direction, but there's definitely something out there.
I'll stop everyone and I'll just say, can everybody be quiet? And I'll just try and listen. Um, and I'll say there's somebody's in trouble to the north.
Yeah, when the whole group
Do
starts
I
to
hear?
quieten down, yeah, when this silence gradually passes over you, when the wind blows in the right direction, yeah, you hear this wailing, crying sound from the north, and definitely it's not a figment of Floretta's imagination. There's definitely something out there, as if there's a whole bunch of people that are. Well, you can insert your imagination to work out maybe why they're crying the way they are. Are they injured? Are they being tortured? Something's definitely going on that sounds painful.
Well, I mean, we're technically under no obligation legally to go and rescue people. In fact, that might involve us with, you know, law enforcement.
Somebody
Stick
else
to
knows we're out here.
Yeah, what's that, Grover?
stick to the mission is what you're saying.
Well, unless it sounds like they're being attacked by frogs. Yeah.
I
Um,
don't think it hurt to see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't want whatever is getting them to get us.
uh, Quinn's turning a little white. Getting them. You. Uh, uh,
Well, it's something, they're in trouble. So something is happening.
fair enough. It's we're just doing our duty as diligent citizens, helping out people. It's yes, excellent. Good thinking, good cover. Yes, we got to help people, right? Ladies. All right.
Uh, and I'll sort of turn to Grove and I'll say, do you think this will take us too far off?
Um, so in relation to the two trails that you were talking about, I think it was 2 and 4. Does this
This
kind
be
of move us?
this would be 3 and 4 because you went down. 3 took you towards Megiddo's Hill. 4 is the hunting trail. 4 roughly starts angling off a almost northeasterly direction,
Okay.
and Megiddo, you've gone as far as the route goes to Megiddo, so you are completely going into virgin territory out at this point. Going north will take you technically further away from the way that Path 4 slopes off to the northeast, but not an inordinate kind of. There's no warning bells ringing that you're going completely off into unsafe areas yet.
Yeah, I'll say to Flo, I think we'll be okay if we move toward the sound. I'm trying to keep us close to a trail. That way, if we need to, we can get on the trail and get ourselves back. So I don't want to really go too far out in the middle, out in the wilderness. But yeah, I mean, we can definitely go see what we can see.
Yeah, maybe we can check it off the trail a bit. Sort of some people stay back and somebody can scout out to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right, sound like consensus you want to head north. So to follow this sound.
Yeah.
Can I have perception rolls again from so this is awareness rolls from everyone, please.
Which dice?
Difficulty again will be fairly average in this case. So yeah, we'll give that D12 some love.
I just made it
Yes.
to 9.
Yes.
There's no
Pass.
degrees of
11.
success, right?
Not for this kind of roll, no.
All right.
I
No, just
passed
in
as well.
general.
Okay, sounds like everyone passed, right? In which case, then, as you start to head further north, maybe about half a mile further up, you do notice the occasional, particularly for Florettas, you've got some outdoor activity, outdoorsman skills here. You do notice a couple of signs that there are people that do come out this way, or at least someone comes out this way, because you notice a couple of branches that have been knocked to one, got broken, probably within the course of the last few weeks, rather than anything longer than that. But yeah, definitely, you're not in completely untouched an untouched area. And ahead of you, it does open up into a almost like a cigar-shaped clearing, so long and thin, where you notice there are a series of almost like mounds that's very, very shallow. They're maybe only about a foot tall, so you have to really look at them at the right angle to see if you can see a shadow cast by them. Probably about 6 or 7 foot long and maybe about 3, 4 foot wide. But yeah, these minimal mounds. There's about a dozen of them that are maybe, or a dozen to 20 of them that are irregularly spaced in this long clearing.
And is this like fresh dirt or is it covered by leaf detritus and stuff?
Covered by grass. So
Okay.
this has been here for years at this point. Those, I guess everyone passed. You notice a couple of them. If you went over to investigate them, you do notice there are a couple of old crosses that have been knocked over. Again, old, like really rotten wood that's almost on the verge of collapsing entirely.
Well, I don't think this was a screaming we were hearing. People here are probably pretty quiet. He's
Are we still
listening.
hearing it?
Yes, still coming from the north. It's not. It doesn't have that kind of mechanical feel like it's like a tape on loop. It's not someone just projecting sound, but it sounds like something that is ongoing and developing and changing out there. But from here, you do feel that it is getting slightly louder, so you are getting closer to it. It's not like it's always feeling like it's half a mile off in the distance. You are getting close to whatever this thing is.
Hell of a set of lungs on this person. Kind of.
Yeah, I think we should avoid these graves though.
Yeah.
How far are we from them?
Where do you want to be? You mean you can see them? The clearing, say, is maybe about 50 meters wide, probably about 10 to 20 meters across, so kind of cigar shaped or kind of oval shaped. And these are dotted roughly in a row, but there's bigger gaps between them for some of them. They're kind of irregularly spaced.
But we
yeah,
could
some of
walk
them,
through it kind of to continue north.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, might as well just take a look. It's a change of environment from all these trees.
I mean, it's probably the fastest. Yeah, we'll just go, right, Terrell?
Sure.
And Quinn's waiting for Terrell to go first.
Okay. You afraid of ghosts?
No, it's
I
just we're
got
heading
ghost
towards.
repellent right here too.
Keep them in the same pockets as your bear repellent.
Sir.
Oh no. Just wanted to find a frog pond.
Right, you go work your way between these little mounds that may or may not be graves, and unsure, and continue heading north. Right.
I'll make it a point not to step on any
Yeah.
of the mounds as a sign of respect.
If
Okay.
it's possible, I would go around. I don't know how.
Oh, you can go around.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You take a good long bead around it. Just
I'm,
takes you a couple more moments. It's not like it's minutes out of your way.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
following flow with that. I'm going around.
Right through, but yeah, just like Terrell is, let's not step. There's no need to
Yeah.
be completely disrespectful.
Okay, so that's Quinn. You're going straight ahead, and Terrell, you're going straight through it. Yes.
I think so. Quinn, Terrell.
Right.
I don't know what the ladies are doing, but
Sounds
the
like
sisters rather.
for sake of ease, we'll say they're going with Quinn, so they go where he goes. Right. I need to pick up your character sheets to see what your defense values are. So one sec. Right. So Quinn's defense value is challenging, so that's a D10. I'll quickly do these rolls and then describe what the effect is. So
Concerning.
that's nothing on Quinn. And Ashley's also a D10. Definitely nothing on there. Denise, average. Oh, one's not going to do anything. And then Terrell. Yours is a hard
He's meat
D8.
powered. He's practically invincible at this point.
It's that meat armor that everything deflects off
The
it.
meat aura.
He's got
Yeah.
temporary HP.
Yeah. Right. My typical. I think most of you here know my usual luck with dice. It's not that nothing happens, but nothing hits you. There is out from the tree line off to the east. You are fairly sure that you hear the distinctive sound of what sounds like musket fire, and there's this boom, 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 boom of what seem to be almost lead shot hitting the ground or hitting trees next to you. But yeah, definite this volley of old like reenactment style flintlock pistol just gets blown in your direction.
Okay, that's bad.
Hustle, like Quinn just bam bam bam, and then he does like the lifting feet, just scampering as fast as he can.
I'm gonna tackle Quinn into cover. Get
Okay.
down, Mr. President.
The man mountain leans onto you with his meat armor.
Squish.
Flattened like a Goomba.
Yeah, the two girls, they're not like panic, but they run forward and they just run into the tree line and run straight ahead, trying to get as far away from this as possible. And yeah, Terrell and Quinn, you're laying on the ground.
Terrell, we have to go.
All right, I'll help you up.
Stay low.
Yeah, I think we should really
little
stay low.
blood from being under Terrell.
Do we understand that it's like a musket, or it sounds like a musket?
It sounds like a musket, definitely. For Grover and Floretta, you can give me awareness rolls to see if you maybe spot what's something that's happening during this.
Same dice.
This is average, so D12.
Nice. I rolled a 9, so
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, as soon as you hear this volley of of very distinctive sounding gunfire, this definitely isn't modern firearms. And being locals, you probably maybe have heard this before anyway, because you know there is a fairly prominent reenactment community in town. They're led by a couple of local figures that are connected with the historical society, particularly a very, let's say, over-enthusiastic councilman by the name of John Ringo, who always dresses up in Confederate Civil War regalia, including the saber that he has down by his side, much to the annoyance of the local police sheriff, Sheriff Bowman, especially after he got this thing out and waved it in public several times. That there are plenty of reenactments of different Civil War encounters, battles that normally happen around the times like July 4th, where the big celebrations in town, and maybe around Halloween they go out and do stuff as well for the public. So you will have heard musket fire definitely in those kind of reenactment battles, but you've never heard like balls hitting the ground, because it's always they're firing blanks. They're not actually firing projectiles. It would just be the powder charge that goes boom. But yeah, you definitely hear the charge being lit. You hear the impact of shots hitting the ground and turning in that direction through the eastern side of the clearing. Through the trees, you can see figures moving that are carrying rifles. But at least the odd feeling that you have is you see these figures dressed in what appear to be actually Union soldiers rather than Confederate Union outfits, that as they take their stance, they shoot, they then retreat behind a tree, presumably as if they're diving for cover and maybe they look like they're starting to reload the weaponry. Then there's no movement out there at all. And either they're hidden behind trees or somehow they're gone. But it's eerily quiet, apart from the occasional whoosh or floating piece of cloud of the discharge of the guns that's still diffusing in the area.
What the actual hell was that?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Who did you guys piss off?
Apparently the lobster backs.
The what? What did you guys see? Kind of assuming we're meeting back up with Floretta and Grover. Like, what did you see? What was that?
I mean, I don't think there's supposed to be a reenactment out here, especially not with real bullets.
I think I have a hole in my jacket. What do you mean reenactments?
People love the Civil War for some reason.
On that note, though, it's a prime time to highlight to the group that the four of you are together. The two girls aren't.
Well,
So
they ran off, right?
They ran off towards the north, and they is gone.
It's some real Blair Witch.
Ashley!
Start calling out into the woods, and then there's a couple of seconds pass, and then there's a voice, a familiar one, that calls back. Quinn, I'm over here.
Okay, you three stay put. I'm just gonna go get the
Don't go off on
Yeah,
your own.
we're not leaving you to go off on your own. Like, we'll come with you to go get your girlfriend. I'll say in a joking, not joking manner.
No. Don't ever joke about that again.
What? What's going on?
Terrell, I just need you to understand the relationship here.
Mhm.
I am
I
protective.
think we all understand the
You're
relationship
protective?
here.
I'm protective of the ladies because Mr. Wiseman and Ashley have a thing, so I'm just very protective of his interests. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Terrell?
And you don't like jokes about your relationship status with.
There is no relationship status to be had. Joking, and I
It's just a
so we're
professional
clear,
relationship.
just so we're clear, a Civil War reenactment is the other gang in town that's shooting at you? Is that what we're saying?
I don't see him. Maybe we got some of that algae in us, you know? Maybe it's airborne.
Is that how algae...
I'll
We
shrug.
don't have time. The point is, you're right, Floretta. Let's stick together and just move in the trees where there's cover.
Sounds good. I will kind of go back towards Fleur and I'll be like, sensitive topic, huh?
I mean, we could broach it at some point. Maybe now's not the time, but
That's true. I'll keep a lookout for the other Civil War reenactors. Do you have your piece on you?
I do I? I guess so.
Completely up to you.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, just keep that handy.
You,
I just got these, and I'll flash the brass knuckles.
Close encounters and bear repellent.
Mm-hmm.
Does one say bear and the other says
Those
ghost?
ghosts.
That's not enough knuckles for.
It's fine.
No, but every time he holds it up bizarrely, there are five. There are five.
G-O-S-T.
Ghost.
If you follow not Denise, Ashley's voice coming from further to the north, then yeah, you do meet up relatively soon, maybe about quarter of a mile or so further in. And the woodland around here has taken on a very distinctive and different tone to everything else that you've seen coming up to this point. The canopy's quite thick, so it's quite dark here. It's very humid. You can almost see there's a almost low-lying mist starting to gather in various patches around on the ground. And yeah, there's Ashley here looking around what seems to be a series of puddles that are dotted around some of these trees, like sunken depressions. And yeah, there's all this stagnant water around here. You can see patches of algae and these little blooms around the edges of these ponds, but you don't see any frogs. But the sound of this wailing does almost like pervade in the air around here, as you can hear it, but you can't see necessarily what's causing the sound. It's pretty unnerving and unnatural. You can give me all fortitude rolls. This is I'm going to put this as challenging, so a D10.
And what's the number what's the
9.
attribute we're adding?
Fortitude.
Fortitude.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh God, got a 4.
Okay, so nothing from Terrell, nothing from Quinn.
I got it.
Grover's fine.
Unless I can add occupation to it, it's a no.
No, this
No,
is
okay.
more.
Then
It's a combination of
It's
a
an
mental and biological reaction to
Yeah.
things.
Same.
Right. No one wants to spend destiny to re-roll or to automatically pass. Or apart from Grover has definitely passed.
feels like a
Everyone else
trap.
just gets shot.
No, we're all good. We can end the scenario an hour and a half in. We're good.
Okay, I'll spend 1 to reroll.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll fall for your trap.
It might be relevant. It might not be.
Wait, different dice. It's worse. No.
Okay. In which case, yep, nothing. Grover is the only one that passes, so I will make a note of that.
Oh,
I like failing. Let's make it happen.
All right.
fun.
Yep. The scene is as described to all of you that say there are these little pools or puddles of water that some of them you think are maybe a foot deep. Others are slightly deeper. You could probably put your foot in them and they go up to your knee. But yeah, there's these blooms of odd algae and flowers surrounding them, but it doesn't have the appearance of it being a pond. This is very much little puddles of water, but there is plenty of algae around here in these stagnant puddles. Grover, however, as maybe you've sterner stuff. You've been out in the woods before. You know good clean country air. You for whatever reason, maybe the wind isn't blowing directly in your direction. You aren't getting the same waft coming off this environment that the others are, and you can see that there is definitely other things here. There are frogs that are dotted in some of the around some of these ponds, and either sitting up on lower branches of trees or rocks. And these frogs are what are emitting this sound that almost sounds like these female figures in pain, and it's their combined chorus that is making this unearthly, odd wailing. But the others don't seem to either notice the frogs, or maybe they can't see them. But yeah, that's where the sound of uh, this wailing is coming from. And you can see the frogs the density of them does start to get more the further north you get, that goes towards, again, more thicker parts of the woodland.
Okay.
We got it. We got it. Oh, Grover, I could kiss you. Oh my goodness. Ashley, Ashley,
Please don't. Please
it's
don't.
a matter of speech. This is a strictly platonic business relationship we have. Uh, is this, I guess, addressing Ashley, is this enough to start, gathering what's in using the bag stuff?
Yeah, and she nods and says, "I think this looks okay. I'll need to do a few tests and take some samples, but yeah, I mean, in fact, if everyone can give me a hand, that'd be great."
Oh, yeah.
She opens up her medical bag and starts pulling up a series of test tubes and starts basically passing them out. So you've each got a couple of them, each with a funnel as well. That's if you can try and scoop up as much of the algae as possible and then put a stopper in. Obviously, don't. I'm not interested so much in the water. I can get vials of that separately, but it's just the algae from the top I'm interested in. If folks could grab a couple of test tubes and start gathering, that'll make our job a lot quicker. And where is Denise? She not with you?
No, no, I thought she was with you. Of course, Denise got lost. I don't know. What do you three think? I mean, I can get started on the algae gathering. I'll stay here. Does somebody want to find her?
Should two of us
I-
look for Denise then?
Who would you like to go with you? Sorry, I
Who?
missed the beginning of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'll stay here with Ashley, and we'll start working on the algae. All right, like I'm not an outdoorsy person, so algae gathering's best for me. I'm sure she can't have gotten far in those heels. She's probably back being shot to death by the Union. Whoever.
But somebody should stay here though with you.
Oh yeah, Ashley will be here with me.
You'll excuse me if you don't trust me to, or if I don't trust her to.
Fine, fine. One of you stay behind then. I don't really. You're all equally skilled in my eyes.
I'll go with Grover to find Denise.
Terrell and Grover, you're heading off looking for the inept one of the group. Floretta?
I would be inclined to object with being separated from Grover, but as long as it's not for too long.
Okay, so you staying with Quinn and Ashley then?
Yep, I'll stay.
Okay. So Terrell and Grover, you start wandering off. I'll have.
I do want to talk to Grover.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll have a little chat first, and then again we'll get some rolls. And yeah, splitting the party, you can cover more ground that way.
I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I can't. I got to know the guy. Is there an alternative to not killing them?
Yeah. Just don't do it.
Maybe we just tell him to skedaddle when it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a reasonably intelligent guy. I figure if we lay out the facts,
I don't know about that.
Well-
look what he drinks.
Yeah, well, his judgment is impaired by his choice of alcohol. Um, yeah, maybe we can try to improve his taste quality there. But no, I mean, I feel like, he's smart enough to take a hint, a heavy hint.
Right.
Maybe.
Do you think all
Yeah.
three of them, they're gonna have to like change their identities or like move?
Yeah, I
Because
don't
if
know.
they're found, it's on us too.
That's true.
You don't think
That's really true. Um,
Wincliffe is gonna just
yeah,
take kindly to us letting him
I mean,
go?
as long no, he's probably not. He's probably going to be very upset and angry, and we're definitely not going to get paid. Um, and yeah, that's not good.
I think that's gonna be worse than us just not getting paid. We're gonna end up rolled up in a carpet.
That's probably true too. Concrete shoes, things like that. Um,
So we've really got to
Yeah.
think this out.
well, give me a moment to kind of like process it,
Okay.
and
You go
and
process it.
I'll get back to you. I've got a plan.
You got a plan. That's good.
I have a plan. I have a plan. I just need to work it out. And yeah, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. It's all going to work out. Realistically, I think our biggest concern right now is getting our asses out of this wood.
I'm starting to
'Cause-
hallucinate, man. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, if we can't get out of the wood, then we don't have a problem with Wyman.
Oh, great.
We
Let's just
really don't.
never get out of the woods then.
Right, we don't come out of the woods.
I'll
We're
speak
all
of getting out of the
gone.
woods. Where's Denise?
I don't know where Denise is. I have no idea. I have no idea. But maybe we can find her. If we can't, then the wood's taking care of the problem. We got no problem.
No, that's true.
That's one down, two to go.
You can't just
Um,
expect them to just be dead after getting lost in like 15 minutes. Oh yeah, the woods took care of them.
Do you know how many people have went missing in this wood? There's like 24 people per year over the last 50 years have went missing in this wood.
Jesus, you get hazard pay?
I no, but it's all right. But look, let me talk to Floretta, because we've worked together on other projects,
Mm,
and her and I might be able to take care of Quinn and Ashley.
okay, it's just gotta be airtight. That's all. Or else it's all three of us in
Okay.
a body
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah, no worries. Don't worry.
If they find us.
Yeah, I tell you what, just leave it to me. I'll take care of it. Everything will work out just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, do you really want to find Denise, or do you want to just go,
Well, if we don't find Denise, the rest of them are gonna freak, and they might not be as negotiable.
I mean, yeah, okay. Well, let's at least put up an effort to roll the dice and see what we find.
On that app metaphor, give us a awareness check. This is going to be fairly easy, so a D20.
Oh,
And with any outdoorsman tracking type skills that you might have.
Oh yeah, I rolled a 15.
Oh, yeah,
5.
easy. Terrell's is looking in completely the wrong direction. He's looking for impressions of maybe footprints or trails up in the air, whereas Grover is actually looking in the right place on the ground.
I got the meat sweat, so I'm calm.
The distracting, it's just all that aroma of flavor in your mouth.
Oh
that's
yeah,
it's like that drooling of
I can still taste it.
your direction looking in the wrong angle.
Really go for some floss right now.
But Grover though, you look down on the floor and you do spot there are some fresh tracks here, some tree branches and twigs that have been broken as someone's running past, and a discarded high heel shoe with sand running out of the shoe.
Yeah, I'll pick up the shoe.
Is there a trail of sand?
There is indeed, yeah. It kind of dots bits. So at least from one shoe. The other one, it doesn't. Obviously, there's no shoe print, but there is a not bare, but it would be a socked impression of a footprint going forward.
What
And
happened?
it goes. She's run off at high speed, and she's running towards. You have to do a bit of a double take, but it looks like a white picket fence. And then beyond that, you can see the got a manicured garden. There's a little what do they call it? Over here we call it a roundabout, like a merry-go-round type thing in the like a kid's play set, and then a back
Oh,
door,
okay.
and then a back door to a house. And then you can see off to the left, there's another house with another white picket fence that demarks the areas of the garden.
What on earth is going on? I don't recognize any of this.
I didn't either. I didn't know this was in here.
And there's just woods surrounding everything.
Yeah.
Is there? Do we see the? So we see the backyard essentially,
Mhm. Yeah.
where the street of the would be at the front of the house. Is there just more woods, or is it an actual street?
If you'd have to move off a little bit to one
I'll do
side
so,
to be able
yeah.
to get so you get a good view between the houses. And yeah, looking out into the beyond the houses, you can see there's tarmac. There's a length of street out there,
What
and
is
there's
going
other
on?
houses on the other side of the road. You can see you can see traffic lights, street lights there.
Signs of life?
Coming up. Not that you can see,
Yeah, no
but
cars, no pedestrians.
no one moving around. But you do hear what sounds like a TV playing somewhere. But you rolled pretty poorly on your awareness check, didn't you?
Right.
You can hear the sound of what seems like a TV and someone speaking on the TV that's turned up fairly loud, but
Okay.
you can't quite make out what's being said.
I think we just checked this out. Am I hallucinating? Maybe. What's the street sign say? What street are we on?
You if you angle enough to see one of those
Yeah.
street lights, yes, well, those nice green backed white letters,
Yeah.
Mulberry Street.
Do I know of a Mulberry Street in Potter's Lake?
Give me a knowledge roll.
Okay, with pleasure.
This is going to be. I say actually, is it quite easy for a local? It'd be very.
Yeah, I
very
am a
difficult for anyone
local.
else. So yeah, give me a D20.
Ooh, I rolled a 9 plus 2, so 11.
Right, Mulberry Street. Yeah, this is definitely a place you know, but maybe one that as soon as you hear the name makes you kind of roll your eyes and thinking this has got to be a joke. Mulberry Street used to be somewhere between Hyacinth and Cherry Streets, in the middle of town. People kind of joke about that when they maybe get lost or they're late getting somewhere, that they must have taken Mulberry Street because it's a joke. The place doesn't exist anymore.
What happened to it?
Well, people say that on town records that the place, it used to be a row of streets that everywhere was demolished, and it made room for having bigger backyard and bigger properties for the houses on each side of it for Hyacinth and Cherry. But there's no official record of either any public works being done or that the fact the street exists. It just appears on some maps. But the story persists that people have seen, or when they've gone down between those streets, they've taken a turn and found this lovely, picturesque, got a white picket fenced, archetypal American small town neighborhood being there. But whenever they've gone back to look for it again, there's nothing there. So, like I say, it's become a bit of a joke amongst the local populace.
Is some kind of prank rover? I'm looking for the TV cameras. This is Mulberry Street. Doesn't exist, except it does.
This thing is Mulberry Street. No. Well, let's keep looking for Denise and see if we can find her.
I'll start with that house.
Okay.
Okay, we'll cut there for a moment and we'll go back to the others. So, Quinn and Floretta and Ashley as well, you are gathering your samples. Can I also have an awareness check from you? But this is going to be significantly harder. I'm going to put this as very hard, so a D6.
There's a chance.
There is a chance.
One off.
Oh,
8.
I rolled a 1, so
oh,
no,
you got no idea.
no.
Um, yeah, Quinn, for a second, then, as you're collecting samples, this wailing around you, this kind of, you maybe try to filter it out a bit because it's just, it's weird that you can't understand, especially when you can't see where the noise is coming from. But then for a moment, you catch something actually being said amongst the wailing, but you only catch the back end of it. You catch that it's almost that this female voice says something that you don't catch at the beginning, and then just no, no, please God, no at the end of it. And it's that repetitive no, no, please God, no that kind of catches you in your ear, but you didn't catch the very beginning of it.
Loretta, do you say something?
I didn't say anything. I think it's that's screaming. We've got to figure that out.
Yeah, yeah. You keep looking, and I'll hurry up here and just fill some more. He's like taking more of these vials from Ashley. I'll just yeah, I'll get these started. If you wanna look around.
Yeah. I'm not helping. I'm definitely German Shepherd looking around.
In which case, attention and riding on that awareness roll being that bad, you can scoop up plenty of extra vials
Yeah, I
to.
was thinking
Yeah.
extra vials, and that second flask comes out and scoops up a bunch of the algae
Mhm.
and screws the top back on.
Yeah. And likewise, Ashley does the same. There's a kind of knowing nod and a look between you. She, but she looks worried. Says, we need to find Denise and get the hell out of here.
One thing after another. We're right there. We're almost out. We're almost out. Just we got to stay calm. We've got what we need. Now we can just all we got to do is leave.
Mhm.
I'll just sort of turn to them and I'll say, you can't go back there.
What's that?
To Wiseman, you can't go back. Neither of you.
Well, why is that?
He knows.
Just yeah, like
Mhm.
all color drains. He knows. Shit. How does he
Yeah.
know?
Ashley kind of grabs your hand at this point, also looking very pale.
Wait, is this one of those traps where you say you know, but you didn't know, but now you
Ashley kind
is
of lets go of your hand and
yeah.
tries to look innocent.
No, no, it's not. You can't go back. You need
Uh,
protection.
yeah, I guess. Uh, I was we were gonna go down to Houston. Uh, well, what's
Is there
Wincliffe
someplace
got to
he
say? What?
he's in on it.
Why are you telling me then?
Uh, because I think that you'd be more useful alive than dead.
No, I have to agree. I think you can understand.
I think that you have a lot of information on Wiseman that would be really useful to some people that I know.
But uh, and he's kind of like eyeing Ashley, like, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense right now. As long as we can, I think we can make a deal. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of lawyer work for him. I know where a lot of the bodies are buried, literally.
We just have to make it out of here and make sure he doesn't find you, which I think interested parties could facilitate.
Okay, okay. And Wincliffe has to not know too.
Yes. As
Oh,
far as both
jeez.
of them are concerned, you're dead.
Oh, jeez. Uh, what a wonderful day. Just getting all
Uh,
these out.
that seems like a great sentence for you to suddenly be interrupted by this very high pitched, very effeminate scream, which you are fairly sure is Denise screaming off to the east, which Terrell and Grover, you will be able to hear that this is happening on in one of the houses on the other side of the street from the side that you're approaching from. So it definitely is close to where you are, but is on the other side. And if we want a quick break, that is a good point to leave it for a moment. Right, we're back, and there's been this scream off in the distance. So Quinn and Floretta, and technically Ashley as well, the direction which it came from. So if you wanted to head in that direction, that would bring you to Terrell and Grover, who are out the back of these, what seem to be two houses. The layout that you can see as you either moved around to get an idea of the exact geography, this looks a bit like a cul-de-sac where you have the tarmac of Mulberry Street going between two houses on either side of the road, and then there are two at the top end that kind of cap the cul-de-sac off. So there's 6 houses in total. Each one of them is alone. They're separated, detached. That's what I'm looking for. From each of the houses around them. They're not like semis. They're not bolted together. So there is a little bit of ground between them. You're approaching from what we'll call houses 1 and 2 on the eastern side, and the road runs north-south. 3 and 4 are at the top left and top right, respectively, and then 5 and 6 are down the western side, of the far eastern side of the street, rather. You're approaching from the west, heading east. So that's where you think either from 5 or 6 is where the scream came from, so on the other side of the road. But as you are close enough to these houses, you can get an idea of the kind of aesthetic of them, that they definitely seem archaic, to say the least. The decorations in the garden, particularly that roundabout type kids toy that's there, a discarded bike as well that's on the floor, and also some of the styles of the plants, and also like the guttering and the general aesthetic here. It's not modern, but it looks fairly new. If anything, you would peg this as being quite early 1960s in feel. But yeah, everything seems pretty much brand new around here.
Okay, well, if we hear the screaming, I'll turn to Terrell and I say, "It sounds like Denise. Better go get her."
Yeah. Do you have anything on you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, how about you get that out then? You never know. I'll put on the brass knuckles and a break.
Oh, okay.
Everything feels better when they're on there.
Yeah, life's good.
Right. Over to you. What do you want to do?
Well, I think we'll just kind of move between these two houses,
Mhm.
1 and 2, and move across the street toward 5 and 6.
Okay. Yep, you can see then as you go between them, you hear the sound of the TV is coming from house 1, where you can hear the window open. And now that you're this close, you don't need to make any rolls to be able to ascertain what's being said on the TV, especially as a very distinctive theme tune kicks in, which hopefully won't get you copyright striked, but goes very much like do 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 do, as you can hear the Twilight Zone playing on one of the TVs. Complete with Rod Serling's narrative over the top saying, "You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone." And then the rest of the episode starts playing. All right, okay, when you get out onto the main road, you can see there's a couple of cars, again, old, very much 1950s, 1960s styles, like an old Plymouth Fury that you can see off to one side that's slightly showing its age by this point, but would be age reminiscent of, if this was a snapshot of the 1960s, an old Plymouth from the 50s looks like it's about 10 years old. There's the two houses in front of you. The one that's off to the right, the front door is open. Looks like it's been open for some time. There's maybe some detritus that you can see going in and out of there, almost like toilet paper or other disposables. And that's where the sound is coming from, and you can hear kind of tap 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 of footsteps coming down the stairs from the upstairs, and Denise runs out of the building, her eyes wide, kind of her arms flailing out either side of her. Both shoes have gone by this point, so the other one somewhere, you don't know necessarily where, you haven't spotted it. But yeah, she runs straight out towards the two of you. And who's leading the search? So who went up first?
I'll be up first.
She runs straight over towards you and just jumps,
Easy,
hugs you
easy.
like a limpet.
What's going on?
And just babbles incoherently, pointing back behind her.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you slow down. And could you say that again?
There's some woman or some lady in there that's hung herself inside the house.
Quite frankly, that's not our problem. But
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
take
not
a
touching
look.
that.
I'll take a look.
I'll stay with Denise while you go check out
I'll go in alone.
the hanging lady.
You know, in which she jumps on you then. So I'm not going back in there. I'm not going back in there. Just wraps her arms around you real tight.
Upstairs, you said?
She just nods and
All right.
buries her face into Grover's chest.
Now, when I step into this 1960s home, does it have all the furnishings of a 1960s home?
It very much does. And if anything, number 6 almost looks a bit like a show home. The place looks very artificial. And in fact, on one side where you've got this radiator cover, you can see a number of pamphlets that were arranged in piles, but they're now kind of twisted and as if someone's knocked them at some point and they've not bothered to rearrange them.
I'll pick up a pamphlet.
Yeah, they're all declaring like Scott Brown Realty, which dictate
get
that
the
this
fuck
is
out of here, right?
Yeah, exactly. They've got a showing. Yeah.
I'll leave. I'll just pocket one.
Yeah, they're all displaying that this is a typical home for sale, and that this is apparently a new development in the Potters Lake area, and this is an example of the housing that will be coming to Hyacinth, Cherry, and Mulberry Streets in the course of the next upcoming year, and it's dated the 1962-1963 season.
Okay, well let's just take a look upstairs.
Right, you start heading up the
Anything
relatively
valuable?
narrow but slightly creaking stairs as you head on up. Quinn and Floretta, whereabouts are you, or what are you doing?
So if we are following them to the scream, then I guess we're approaching the houses.
Okay. You can get there without any difficulty. There is obviously this bizarre sight of a white picket fence in the middle of the woods that obviously then surrounds or marks the edges of these properties. And then, in fact, between the houses, between 1 and 2, you can see Grover stood on the tarmac of this street. And yeah, with Denise wrapped around him.
I'll pull out my gun and approach. Not at them, but just in general.
Okay. Yeah, you pass on through.
Prepared. Because if we're passing between houses, I just want to make sure there's nothing going to jump out of the windows or anything like that.
Okay. If you are on alert, as it were, I won't count this as a roll, but from house 1, you obviously there's still the sound of the Twilight Zone episode playing. Apparently, there's some people talking about some plane. That's the particular episode. There's some talks of air crash investigation about this plane that's mysteriously turned up. That's got no crew. But as you pass on through, you can hear there's another sound coming from one of those open windows that you can catch goes through into the kitchen. And then from the kitchen, you can see it leads into the living room where the TV's playing. The TV is turned up pretty loud, but occasionally between quiet parts in the dialogue, you can hear someone snoring in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if we're moving past, I'll sort of signal back to them if they're following behind me to sort of like stay quiet, and we're sneaking.
Yeah, Quinn's like talking with like, you can see it too, right? Touching the we were in contact with the algae, so anything's possible. But yeah, let's go. We'll go by Grover and Denise.
Yeah, so we'll make our way over there.
Yeah, you can say you meet up in the middle of the road.
Denise, what the hell?
I just I heard gunshots and I just ran, and then I found myself here. I thought, is it people come civilization? Maybe we weren't that far into the woods. I could go and call the police or get some help, anything. But this don't look right.
What did you see?
Oh, just lunatics with rifles.
Where's Terrell?
He's in the house checking out what Denise saw.
Right. And cut to Terrell then, as you're heading up the staircase. The first thing that assaults you is the smell. This smells like piles upon piles of excrement.
Oh,
from the toilets. This quickly becomes evident there is no running water or water supply out here. Maybe because it's a show home, maybe the water was never turned on, but someone used the toilet, or
obviously
multiple people.
Denise.
Yeah, or multiple people use the toilet, because the whole thing is filthy and overflowing.
Animals.
Yeah. But as you are taking in and sort of maybe turning your back on that smell and closing the door, you can hear this creak, creak, creak sound of something swinging.
All right. Well, gotta confirm.
Right? And in the room that overlooks the front of the house, you open the door up into what presumably would have been at one point a box room or storage room. There's a rolled out, fairly, from your perspective, fairly modern looking sort of looking for sleeping bag, an air mattress. There's what looks like a battery operated lamp or lantern, and then what looks like the figure of a young lady, or I wouldn't say girl, a bit too old for that, in her 20s, that's hanging from a cord that's been wrapped around the lamp in the middle of the light fixture in the middle of the room. She looks like she's been hanging there for, you think, probably a couple of days.
Yeah,
So
that's a
obviously
dead
very,
body.
very, very blue, tongue lolling out one side, eyes distended from the head. Looks fairly typical of, yep, she's hung herself after having stood on a box that she's then kicked out from underneath her feet, and she is then swinging just about that far off the floor.
Jesus. Any like identification that she might have? Who is this person? I'm looking
You
for a
start,
wallet or a purse.
yeah, you start rifling through her pockets, and you find Penny, as her driver's license rather. Penny Smith gives that she is a resident of Michigan. But
Okay.
other than that, you do find a St. Anselm's University library pass that's in her pocket. So evidently she is a student at St. Anselm's.
Not anymore.
But the library pass is dated about 3 years back.
3 years. Okay, and she's not a resident of Potter's Lake.
No, you think she's probably she's probably one of the
Yeah.
students that comes in from elsewhere in the US to study in St. Anselm's, and yeah, that would match why she's got the university ID card or the library card, and her license is based elsewhere.
This poor woman. Oh, we can't do much, and it's probably best not to take any of this stuff because then it might incriminate me. So,
Yeah, taking in the rest of the scene around the room, the back of the door just has it looks like some marks on the back of it. If you pull it more open and have a look at it, there's just this series of 1, 2, 3, 4, scratch, 1, 2, 3, 4, scratch, and there's when you do a quick tally up, you can see that there's 24 that the last bunch haven't had a slash gone through them.
What would this represent? Days being here?
It doesn't. There's no context to outline what it means.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's a little disturbing. I think I've seen enough.
Yeah, you can head back out if you want and head back downstairs.
Do you have any cash? Am I shameless enough? They're a college student.
They are a poor student. You maybe get $5 out of the.
Okay,
out of
but
the
it's like
pocket.
it's real. I can feel it in my hands.
Yeah,
this
no, it's
isn't some hallucination.
That definitely feels real. Yeah.
What the hell? I'll keep the $5.
Mhm.
They're not gonna need it anymore.
Well, now that you've touched it, I would advise you keep it. It has your fingerprints.
Right. I'm gonna go down the stairs, and if I see the rest of them, I'm like, "Yep, there's a dead body."
Yeah, you do a quick head count, and there's all 6 of them outside, and then you think, hang on a minute, and you have to flick and go on to do that kind of double take, and yeah, there's 5 people out there. But you could have sworn for a second it was almost like there were 6 people there.
Yeah, we should head out. This is a little weird. This street
Abs-
doesn't exist. It's not supposed to exist anymore.
The hell are you on about in this town? What do you? The power's on, right?
Yeah, I mean the TV was on.
So
at the
it's
other...
connected to the grid. This is this is just a weird cult you guys have out here that you didn't know about. Let's just be nice, find a telephone, and figure out maybe a map. Did you see a map for how to leave?
I mean, what was it? Cherry Street should be one over then. I recognize Cherry Street.
Yeah, you should
But
do if they
I'll
say.
try and go over the Cherry Street.
Okay, so you're going through maybe house 5 and 6 through their
Yeah.
gardens to then get across.
Yeah.
You can head off in that direction, and when you get out to there, you spot the back garden of number 6, and suddenly maybe something in your head after doing a quick count up, maybe you get the significance of what those marks were in the on the back of the door. It looks like a lot of furniture has been broken up to fashion very rudimentary crosses that are then marked at the head of 23 mounds, very much resembling graves that fit all over the complete the back plot. Number 24 is an open grave that has not got a body put in it as yet, but there's a shovel planted in the ground. There's a headstone ready and waiting, but the plot is empty.
Jesus Christ. What the hell is happening? 24 bodies?
Well,
Now,
23
what is...
and 24 is upstairs.
Yeah, what's the headstone say? And also, does this match the layout of the graveyard that we saw earlier?
This is regular. This is like 5 rows of 5.
But they don't have any etchings.
No, they're literally just they're broken pieces of furniture that have been forced with maybe some twine or string to then form a rudimentary cross. There's no names marked on anything.
Okay.
Who's snoring in that other house then? If there's only enough graves for
what?
All right, that's a very uncomfortable thought, Floretta.
I would recommend we leave that person sleeping.
Yeah.
Just not bother.
No, I'm not advising going in. I think that we should try and find a way out of here.
I don't want to look though.
Terrell, you have this reeks of a serial killing. And let me tell you who you don't want to get hooked up with there is serial killers. That's They don't let you mount a good defense. Trust
What
me.
if I told you I had some serial killer repellent right here?
I want to see those brass knuckles.
Yeah.
SRL
Yes.
LLLR. Huh.
As you say that,
SRALKLLR.
Yeah.
as you say that, maybe if there is a bit of a chuckle that goes amongst the group, you hear a window open
Oh
in the
God.
direction of house 2, and a female figure dressed very much like the archetypal 1960s housewife leans out of the window and kind of in a "Shh, keep it down, my kid's trying to sleep," and then slams the window shut and pulls the curtains to very quiet, very quickly.
Oh, she's yelling. She's gonna wake her kid up.
It's louder than us.
Well, okay, so is it like a family of serial killers? What
I have
is
no idea
going
what's
on
happening.
here?
That was a little weird.
Grover, what the hell?
I don't know. So do I still have a sense of where we are in the wood?
You have a well. Let's see if you do. This is a good point to have a roll. Because you passed your roll earlier, I am going to make the difficulty on this slightly less. So this is only going to be a challenging, so a D10 roll, using your choice of either awareness or knowledge.
Okay. They're both 3. And then can I add my hunting skill to that too?
You certainly can, because it's relevant outdoorsy type skills.
Okay, so that's 6. And I rolled a 6, so that's 12.
Okay. You're fairly sure you are relatively close to path 4, that hunting trail that would go through the woods,
Okay.
that was going on a roughly northeast trajectory. So you're not too far away from that.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll tell Quinn, I'm like, yeah, I think if we go this direction, we'll get to a trail that'll take us back to where we need to go.
Great,
Yeah, pointing southeast.
great.
Yeah.
That sounds really wonderful. Oh, by the way, Floretta clued me in, and we really appreciate. And he's like going for the handshake. We really appreciate you taking the time and the interest and not killing
Yeah,
us.
no problem. No problem. All's gonna be well. Everything's gonna be fine. Like
We'll
I
just have to
said,
take the algae off your hands.
What?
When
We'll
you
have to
say
take-
that, you hear a very angry and a slamming door in house number 5.
Okay.
time to go.
We're in the middle
Time
of
to
the street,
go.
right?
Let's
Okay.
Yep.
move the conversation on.
Hustle,
we're
hustle.
walking and talking. We're walking.
Anyways,
and talking.
we'll need that algae because our boss is expecting it.
Sure, we've got vials on vials. Yep.
What direction do you want to head?
Let's head southeast toward. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take this as their kind of north-south orientation. So you head out towards where the road just stops, which would be at the bottom of the rows of plot 1 and 6, and then head southeast from there. Yeah, you start trudging through the woods. Obviously, there's trees all around you. Eventually, mask the area behind you, and up ahead, as you've lost sight of everything behind you, there's no sound of streets or any noise of the TV playing. You can see ahead of you a white picket fence. And beyond the picket fence, as you're approaching from this angle, you can see what looks to be a swimming pool. There's again the plot of land. There's then a large house in front of you. There's another house off to the left of that looks like it's a different layout that has an empty patch of ground. But there's a lot of earthwork that's been done there. And you can see a gazebo type structure off in one corner. And then a large concrete statue of an angel that's been erected in one corner of the garden there. But again, with a very 1960s aesthetic.
Hmm. This is worrying.
no, not worrying. It's just that they put the streets up next to each other.
No, we went in one direction.
Yeah, no, this is a different street.
There shouldn't be a different. There shouldn't be a street out here.
Look, you build one street, you're gonna build another. This is you guys. They were drinking the water. They were drinking the water. Think about that. And they built a street because I don't know how they did it, but they built it in the middle of the woods, and you folks just don't talk about it. You don't talk about it, right? Right.
Right.
I think we could all agree that we just keep going. Grover, you set a direction. Let's just go through here and keep going.
Plowing around, or are they still trying to head in a roughly southwesterly trajectory
I
to
was
get to
thinking
the
just
southeasterly
through the
rather trajectory to
streets.
get.
Yeah.
Just go through the streets and then turn again.
Okay, so if you take the most direct route to continue heading southeast, that will take you between these two houses and out onto the street, which you pass through. You pass between them. You end up having to climb over the fence, go round the pool, and then go between them. You end up in the cul-de-sac, and there's some familiar-looking cars. There's a Plymouth Fury, and there's a sign that says Mulberry Street.
If we look towards the house that Terrell went into, is it?
Mhm.
It's got the same like stuff kind of doing the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the door's still open into 6. Yeah. You can hear you can in fact still if you want to go close to house 1, you can still hear the Twilight Zone playing inside.
Guys snoring too?
If you get close enough and want to have a listen, then yes, you can indeed hear snoring.
Hmm.
Right. We got turned around. Got turned around.
We went in one direction.
Maybe Grover.
I'm not sure.
My
I can't
friend.
explain it. I've got a really good sense of where we are. I
Yeah, lost.
can't. Well, at least we are somewhere, which is lost. So at least we know where we lost.
One person stays behind or one person goes. Can they see people behind them and in front of them?
Honestly, you're trying to spread out over a bit of a distance.
I'm just wondering what happens if we are going in a circle. Can you see the same people behind and in front if you're right in the middle? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, okay. If you want to set up an experiment like that, you can certainly try.
Just curious.
Let's try.
Yeah.
How would you want
I'm
to?
not
How would you
sure
want
what
to do
that
this?
helps us, but
So you wanna? Yeah. I mean, you could like take a string. Maybe we just ask that nice lady for some
yeah.
twine. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
string,
And
sure.
Quinn takes a drink of the wrong flask.
Mouthful of algae.
Yeah.
Hey, if you give me a mouthful of algae by accident, you can give me a fortitude roll.
I'm panicking.
This is going to be
easy, right?
with the algae. Yeah, I'll actually say it's going to be an easy roll.
All right.
It hasn't been processed yet.
He's eating the raw shit.
Did you say fortitude?
Yes.
It's a 7.
Okay. You want to spend any destiny, or do you want to leave it as a fail?
Oh boy. Let's escalate the situation as we're getting trapped in here. I'm gonna leave it as a fail.
Okay.
Excellent.
Right, you take a gulp of this stuff, and yeah, for a moment, as you are sort of suddenly processing this vile stuff going down your throat, you look at Floretta, and there's this dark impression behind her, this winged thing that seems like it's got, they say, this big, almost like a huge bird, maybe like a massive crow. But you blink and you shake it off, and maybe it's just a shadow of the big tall trees that are surrounding this whole weird impossible street that you can't possibly be here.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Floretta, you a bird person?
Not at all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm distracting us from what we're doing. Um, Terrell, what were you gonna go talk to somebody, right? Or we're doing an
Yeah,
experiment?
we
An
can
experiment.
try
Yeah.
the woman in number 5, or
Or would it be
wake the guy up
feasible?
here.
Would it be feasible if we were bringing like camping equipment that we'd have like a cording
Yeah, you can
for
easily have
like
that.
putting
Yeah,
up a lean-to or whatever, or a tent?
yeah, you can easily have tents with you and
You
another
want to set up a
another
tent? We got
relevant
houses
camping
right here.
equipment.
No, I
No,
think
just
I
to
see it. Yeah, is a guide between the two,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, like uh, a nylon cord is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. All right. So who's going in the circle?
Well, I can I can take the lead or the rear, depending on how this goes.
Yeah. Yeah,
sure.
we'll hold the line. Yeah, Ashley and I and Denise, if she's still, yeah, okay. If yeah, we'll just hold the line here.
Uh, so we're doing a line of people on the cord and one person at the end. Okay, I'll go on the end, I guess.
Is that the end that's extending off into the woods and trying to go in
So
a direction, or the
if
one that's
Grover's
staying
leading,
back?
I'm on the other side.
Mm.
All right, so you are still trying to visualize this. Um, so you're, is it just the two of you? One's at one end, or all of you all tied up on this?
Everybody holding on.
Right, so you've got a row of you that are almost
Mm.
like mountaineers that you're
Yeah.
kind of tied off on this. Right, Pete, gotcha. Are you all heading off like this in this kind of motion? So the line is going off like this, or is it more that you're heading off in a direction like that, one at a time?
Oh, I see. I think we're in a
Probably one
line
at a
one at a
time, right?
time.
Yeah.
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 So going like
Correct.
the latter, so it's one person leading and then everyone else is following along
Yeah.
behind.
Right.
Yeah.
In which direction are you going?
I'm gonna try to go the same direction I went
So
when we tried to leave the Mulberry Street before.
gotcha. So you're heading southeast still.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you go down to the end of the road and then head off in your southeast trajectory. And yep, you continue on as a group. All of you head deeper into the woodland that's still, say, very thick around you. Eventually, looking around, you look behind you and you can't see a street there. Ahead of you, again, you can't see anything apart from trees. But as you start to head further, whoever's at the front can see the same entrance with a pool in front of you, and you again approach from the same angle.
Well, this is yeah. I kind of gather everybody back together, and I'm like, well, this is at least good. We've got a consistent result. We went in the same direction. We came back in the same place. So that's at least consistent.
So what happens if we leave from the pool side?
Okay,
Does it?
so you have, I would say then you're outside the picket fence, so you haven't necessarily gone in. Which direction do you want to head in this instance?
Back the way we came? No. Do we see this?
You can't. It's just thick forest or thick woodland
Okay.
going off in all directions.
So just away from the fence, then, right?
Yeah,
If you want to go
let's try it
perpendicular, you can
east-west.
head.
Yeah.
You can head north in that case if you wanted, or you can head east or west.
West. Yeah.
Let's go east.
Okay.
Oh, you want to head
Yeah.
east?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, that will take you along the back fence. So it takes you along past the swimming pool, and then past the series of earthworks where it looks like this huge mound of earth that's been piled up in the back of the house, past the gazebo in the corner, and then heading further out into the woodland. And again, as you proceed, the sun's starting to get a little bit further along in the sky now, so this is getting into late afternoon. You proceed to the point where there is just wood around you and continue heading east, and you appear back at the house with the swimming pool.
If we have a compass, Is the compass showing accurate directions?
It appears to be. Yeah, I mean it's not wobbling or spinning, that you can indeed see north, south, east, and west.
Okay, I think we should talk to someone.
Yeah, good idea. Besides a theoretical physicist, for how this is possible.
I'm not gonna think about it too hard. I'm gonna head up to the house with the Twilight Zone playing.
Okay, house one.
Yeah. I'll
Yep.
Is it unlocked?
You can try the front door, and indeed it is unlocked. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I wouldn't want to be impolite. I'll ring the doorbell.
Okay, there is a, and then finally there's a groggy sound of someone getting up from inside the living room, and stumbling towards the front door, coughing as he does so, and you can catch the old man smell that precedes
Ugh.
him. But yeah, he opens the door up and looks somewhat blurrily at you.
I got my hands behind my back.
Okay, hiding the bling. Basically, he's got these big glass bottle glasses, like Mr. Magoo. He probably wouldn't even notice that you'd wearing them, even if you held them up in front of his eyes.
So,
Yeah,
howdy,
hello,
friend.
Sonny.
How are you?
Still here. I'm quite surprised, actually. Can I help you?
I'm a bit lost.
Oh, you're lost.
Yeah, didn't mean to end up on Mulberry Street.
Oh, okay. Well, whereabouts are you heading?
Potter's Lake.
Well, you're in Potter's Lake.
Out of Potter's Lake.
You want to head into Potter's Lake, to head out of Potter's
No,
Lake?
I want to head out of
confused.
Potter's Lake. Yeah.
Oh, you want to head out of Potter's Lake? Oh, that's what me and the wife are doing. I imagine most other folks around here are probably doing the same thing. You can come on inside if you like. We got
Oh,
plenty.
please.
And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls up a bottle of what appeared to be like sleeping pills and just shakes them.
Uh, hmm. Sorry to upend you from your slumber, but do you realize that there's no way out? We
Well,
tried going through the woods, but then we kept ending up on Mulberry Street.
well, yeah, that's because it's the end.
We went to the end.
It's the end. It's all going to hell. You haven't been keeping track of the news?
No, what's on the news?
No, all those missiles in Cuba. It's all gone to shit.
That's
It's the
terrible.
world. We're probably hours away from someone pushing the button.
Right. What year is it?
He looks at you like you're asking what color the sky is. What do you mean? What year is it?
Answer the question, please.
One sec. He turns around and kind of hobbles back over to going back into the living room.
I'll turn back towards the group.
Yeah. Yeah. He comes back after pulling up a newspaper. That's when he brings it back, just as the headline World War III,
What the?
and then exclamation marks. And yeah, the date on there is Saturday, the 27th of November, 1962. Otherwise, what would go down in history is referred to as Black Saturday, the closest the world came to nuclear war.
Huh. This is a really interesting development. I don't really watch the news, so
Oh man, look, the last thing I want to do is be someone who survives and has to go through all that fallout stuff that they're saying on TV. So if you want to join us, again, he shakes the bottle of pills. We've got some whiskey and these, and it'll do the job perfectly for you. I mean, I'm surprised I need to take some more, but
I think it'll have to take a lot more because you seem really fine.
yeah, I'll have to check on the wife to make sure she's had enough. And yeah, he kind of absent-mindedly just starts turning around and starts to head up the stairs.
What the fuck? All right, take care, Mister.
He just holds his hand up and kind of waves over his shoulder.
Okay. I
Well,
will.
as a interested lawyer, I would suggest you not endorse taking sleeping pills as a method of uh, assisted suicide.
Well, he already tried, and he looks right as rain. So apparently they didn't do anything. For Christ's sake, he was snoring.
This has got to be a cult. It's a cult thing. They think it's the end of the world every night, I bet.
I have the newspaper still, right?
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to Quinn.
Yep. See, they made a prop. Kind of pats the paper. They made a prop. Incredible, right? And he's looking at the rest of them like this, right?
Do you flick through the paper, or do
Yeah.
you just like slap it like that? Or-
Slap it. Yeah. See, there's nothing inside, obviously, because
I'll
it's
flip
just a
through it, yeah.
prop. Yeah.
Yeah, you open it up to like the random middle spread, and there's a bizarrely, it looks like it's still printed as a newspaper, but it's a wanted poster that's a $1 million reward, and there's a picture of yourself and Ashley next to it with the name, say, Mr. Joseph Weissman offers reward for services, or rather, the wanted dead or alive.
The alive is crossed
Yeah.
out.
slaps it shut as quick as he can, but Terrell's right there. Holy shit.
What is going on?
How long have we been here? It doesn't make
The sun
sense.
hasn't even set yet.
Yeah,
To be fair,
it's going down.
I can assure you that Mr. Wiseman does not have $1 million, Terrell.
Also, still dated 1962.
Yeah, see, none of this makes sense. It's you know what? I think I had a nip of algae, perhaps. That's Mm, mm, mm. Gives you back the paper.
Shall we see what's behind house number 5? Or what's that? House number 5 and then?
Yeah, 5's there. That's the one where you heard the slamming
The
door
lady
from inside.
yelled at us.
Oh, that's house 2.
Oh, that's house
Yeah.
2.
So, yeah,
Okay.
you can go up to number 2. No
Yeah.
sound from inside.
I'll knock on the door gently. I don't want to wake up the kids.
Okay. Yeah, in which case you hear the sound of quickly footsteps coming towards you, and then the door opens, and there's the same lady in this kind of what looks to be housewife's dress, apron in front of her. You can see it's splattered with what looks to be maybe either strawberry jam or maybe beetroot juice. But yeah, there's definitely some splatter on the front of her. She's got one arm behind her back. She says, "Oh, yeah, can I help you? By any chance?"
Are you aware of what's happening? Apparently, like the world's ending.
Yes, you've heard the news as well, yes?
Right.
Yeah, I mean I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and she pulls up her other hand and crosses it, still one arm behind her back. Yeah, I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that my husband will be back in time, and that no one does push the button. I think people are getting a little hysterical.
A little hysterical, and I'll look at the stains.
Yeah, you're fairly certain that's not strawberry jam.
Okay, this is a little weird. Do you know what? I think I'm just gonna leave now. I'll leave you to it, ma'am.
Okay, I better see if my kids are okay. I mean, I don't like too much noise. You'll wake them up, and they cause one hell of a racket if you. And at that point, you can hear this kind of coming from upstairs, and she turns. This flush of anger just suddenly crosses her face. For God's sake, I told you to shut up! As she raises her hand carrying this bloodstained meat cleaver, she rushes up the stairs, and you can hear the squelching whoop, whoop, whoop from somewhere upstairs.
What the fuck? I'll just exit. I will exit stage left. I'm gonna walk down the porch, and I'm gonna be like, hey, that's not that wasn't helpful. Some lady's just killing her kid.
Right. Excellent.
I wouldn't say so.
No, that's just we're we're invading these people's
privacy. Yeah.
and we just need to leave them be. Yeah. We came, you and I, Terrell, came in through between houses 1 and 2.
Yes.
That's the direction we came in. Maybe we can
Why don't we
get
just
out that
follow the
way.
street, right? To the pavement, it just keeps going, right?
Pavement gets to a point where it would be the boundaries of plots 1 and 6, and then
Mhm.
the tarmac just stops, and then
Oh.
you've got grass and woodland beyond that.
Yeah, that's a little uncomfortable. Everyone in this neighborhood's crazy.
Clearly.
I think that we need to either go back the way we came or just keep going down the road and see what happens.
Well, if we keep going down the road, it'll just stop and it's the woods. But I bet it's just gonna go to the other end of the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll probably show up back at the pool.
This makes sense. How many circles can we go in? So, but you said people have been to Mulberry Street and they've come back. There has to be a way to leave.
Maybe.
Okay. No, think about it. It's like I don't want to die. Quinn's
Yeah, well,
just
a
gonna
lot of
kind of
people want
sit
to
in the
die.
middle of the street. Oh god. Oh god.
I mean, it looks like, that's a popular idea. People do want to die.
While kind of discussing this, like, can I go back to the one place that has the angel statue and
Yes,
the
that's
earthworks?
house 4 up in the
Yeah.
top right hand corner.
Yeah. What does it look like when I actually get up there and check it out?
Okay. Well, the house looks pretty empty. I mean, the door, if you try the door opens up, so you can wander inside, or you can just look through the windows on the ground floor. It looks a bit more appointed. I mean, it looks like it's furnished, but it looks like someone has been very frantically clearing everything out of there. There's bookshelves with large gaps in them. You can see large bits like the pantry, the angle that goes through into the kitchen. You can see large parts of the shelves have been wiped clear. There's the tap as a large like a large water vat that the tap is on, and it's flowing water into this thing as if someone was filling it for like an emergency water supply. But there's no one home. The outside, if you search around for this, takes maybe a couple of minutes, which maybe is good time when Terrell was talking to the crazy woman in house 2. You can see the angel statue is just plonked right on what's on a large plot of ground with nothing around it, but it's the base of it looks like it is actually placed on something more substantial. You can see metal that's underneath.
Okay.
And the earthworks that look towards the back of the property look like enough. There's a large volume of earth that has been removed. The gazebo, you can see what seems to be a hatch, which is almost like a wooden handle which pulls open a section of the decking, and underneath that you can see what looks to be almost like a submarine style hatch. So it's slightly rounded with this wheel on top. You kind of put 2 and 2 together and realize there is definitely a shelter that has been buried in the ground, and all that earthwork is the earth that has been displaced by this large underground, probably bomb shelter that's been put down there.
Okay. The angel statue itself, is there anything remarkable about it? Does it have carvings on it, or anything of that nature?
Give me this be an awareness roll.
Okay.
This is going to be, if you're taking good look, going up close and personal, looking at it, you can give me an average. So this is D12.
D12. Okay. And this is just a straight awareness roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. it's to notice. Well, it's going to come notice and knowing, so you can use your awareness or your knowledge.
Okay. So I rolled a 10 and I have a 3, so that's 13.
Yeah, easily then. Like the weird thing about it when you get up close and personal is from a distance it looks just like a stereotypical angel. So flowing white robes, big wings behind it, and human face looking out with nice curly hair up and above it. But when you're up close to it, you notice there's actually a bit more intricate details around the head. That the face itself is human, but worked very discreetly into the side of the head and the back of the head are 3 other faces. There's one that is almost like the head of a lion. There's another that's the head of an ox, and another that's the face. You can see the beak of an eagle, which with your success, it's the representation of a cherub or a cherubim from the Bible, not this thing that like this baby with a bow and arrow that's a very on Renaissance or very romanticized version of angels, but the biblical angel that's described in the likes of the book of Genesis.
Interesting. Interesting.
And also particularly as you get closer, maybe you are having a look at this and being able to get all round view, you can see that on the back side of it, so the where you've got the, we'll say it's the ox that's or the lion rather that's pointing away from the face of the back, you can see there is a hinge at the bottom where this thing does apparently lift up on its back.
Oh, well, I'll open that if I can.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort, so you can give me a strength roll. With just you on your own, this is going to be very hard, so a d6.
I would help if I saw him. If that's...
Okay, yeah, if Florita comes over and gives you a hand, that will take it down to a d8.
I'll be the strong guy that just watches. And I'll help.
Is Terrell going to lend a hand as well, or you?
Sure.
Okay, another person will take it down to a d10, so it's just challenging.
All right.
Yeah, Quinn and the ladies are just at this point trailing worriedly.
Okay, so d10 plus your raw strength and any ability that you can wrangle that would be involving the likes of athletics or that kind of training.
I mean, if you'd like, I can be the primary roller.
Well, can I use my past occupation as a soldier to help me with this?
Actually, I'll buy that. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's 1, 2. Okay, 2 plus 2 is 4.
Plus the d10.
Yeah, plus a d10. Plus 5 is 9. So
nice.
exactly
Right,
9.
okay. So between the 3 of you, you just managed to get this thing to tip over, or at least not so much tip over, but definitely angle over on this hinge. It goes up to about a 40, actually close to a 90-degree angle, so it definitely goes parallel to the ground. But it reveals the metal plate that it was sitting upon is sunken into the ground, another hatch. So it has another one of these turning wheels on it.
Interesting.
Open it up.
Yeah.
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 Right, you spin it open.
Turn the wheel and open this thing.
Okay, you open it up, and it's a what looks to be a shaft that goes down into the ground with a ladder that goes down, just descends into dark.
I turn to everybody and I say, this might be crazy, but I think this might be our way out.
It's away from here.
Is it?
Sure.
Come on,
guess.
Quinn.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? 1960. Let's all just go down a ladder. Why don't we? I'll just like take a little something and kind of throw it down. Is it a very deep, like?
You drop a stone.
Yeah, like
or
a little
something down
pebble
it.
or something.
Yeah, you drop it. You wait. You wait a bit longer. Maybe a bit longer. There's no sound of anything hitting the ground.
Right, we're
It's
front of the
carpeted.
entrance to hell.
Yeah, no, it's carpeted. Of course, why wouldn't it be, right? All right, who's going first, huh?
It's dark down there, right? No light.
It's very just it just goes straight down as far as the light goes, and at that point there's no illumination down there.
Be feasible that we have a flashlight
Oh,
with the
easily. I mean, you
camping
went out
stuff, yeah.
you went out into the woods potentially maybe overnight, so you would definitely have torches with you.
Yeah. I go first, I guess.
Okay, you bravely descend down into the dark. Who's next?
I'll go. Denise, what happened to your damn shoes? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I lost them somewhere.
Yeah, Quinn will go next.
And
Okay,
your girlfriend's gonna go after.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact,
Not-
the two girls,
well,
the two girls will go as a couple. They will go down after Quinn.
guess we can make it official. Also, I have really bad news. You're
What's
worth
the bad news?
$500,000, lady.
Oh,
It's in 1960 though, so
oh, so it's
yeah,
actually
it's
a
a
lot
lot of
more.
money.
it's a lot more.
That is indeed
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah, before wouldn't have been worth that much, but now we're talking.
If he doesn't have $1 million of 1960s money, he definitely.
I don't think it works like that.
He probably does have $1 million, and Quinn's just lying.
So there's Terrell and Grover left. Who's next down?
I'll
and
go
who's
last.
Okay, Terrell's
Yeah, it's
last.
fine by me.
Okay. In which case, then, this is mainly going to be if Grover went down last. As Grover starts to descend down the ladder, just as your head starts to go down under the surface, you catch the sight further towards the house behind you of 2 feet, or rather 2 legs, of someone stood there just watching the two of you at the hatch. As you start gazing your eyes upwards, there is a man in a grey suit, white shirt, black tie, that now you can see the whole, well, not now because you didn't see him previously. You see the whole face of him. Maybe looks vaguely familiar. You're fairly sure it's Rod Serling.
Yeah. Can
What the hell?
I stop? Can I stop
I'm about to climb
climbing
down. Yeah.
and climb up, back up?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
yeah,
going
can
on,
do.
Grover?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna be like, Mr. Sterling.
Yeah, he just raises an eyebrow. Terrell, you are convinced he's talking to thin air.
You okay, Grover?
It's Rod Sterling.
I don't see Rod Sterling, Grover. Is he talking to you?
Well, no, not yet. I was gonna ask for his autograph.
He replies, now this is where Terrell can hear the voice, but you can't see him.
What the?
Says, if only I had a pen on me.
And I like search my body over. Do I have a writing instrument of some sorts?
Give me an odd or even on any die roll just to see, because
Okay.
that is a bit of a weird thing to carry with you on a outdoor
Yeah, it is.
expedition.
He uses it to kill people.
I rolled a 4.
I guess so. Odd or even was your choice. Which one?
Oh, we'll say no. No, I didn't. We'll say no,
Okay.
I didn't.
There you go. So you pat yourself down.
Okay.
Obviously, no pen. You're not expecting to run into celebrities, especially from a few decades back.
Damn it!
Can
I'm
you shake his
sorry.
hand?
Yeah. Can I shake your hand, Mr. Sterling?
I mean, he grins from ear to ear. Of course you can, dear boy. And he holds out a hand.
Can
I
I
shake his
put my
hand.
arm like this?
Oh, you go over to him and you wave through.
Yeah.
You physically hit something.
What the fuck?
Uh,
I'm sorry, Mr. Sterling.
Yeah, he looks somewhat disapprovingly over at Terrell, and now that you've hit him, you can see him.
Oh.
Yeah, for a moment you think, shit, I've hit like thin air and there's nothing there, and then there's this guy, very much like the figure you've seen in plenty of reruns of the Twilight Zone episodes, looking at you with this somewhat disapproving look on his face, like, did you really have to do that?
I'm so sorry, Mr. Sterling. I
Yeah,
didn't see you there.
Yeah, we apologize. So we're trying to get out. We're trying to get away from Mulberry Street. Actually, do you know if this hatch over here would get us to where we need to go?
Well, that depends. What's your intention? Are you planning on coming back here, or are you planning on just getting out of here?
I've got stuff to do actually, so I don't think I'll be coming back.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, what kind of
Lots of steaks to eat.
what kind of stuff is it that you've got planned?
Well, I've got my family back home that I'm really interested in taking care of. So, I've got some vacation planned coming, beach trip.
All sounds like nice, healthy, good, all American fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
turns to Terrell. What about you, little boy?
Well, I just found a newfound love of steak. I won a competition earlier today, 5 steaks in 30 minutes. I'm hoping to beat that record when I get back to Deeks.
Gluttony is one of my favorites. But again, he just smiles. Okay. Tell me, that young fella who's with you, the guy that went down the hole first, or no, it wasn't first, it was after Floretta, basically describes Quinn. What can you tell me about him?
He's a lawyer, probably a crooked one. Find me a straight one, actually, come to think of it. He works for a mobster.
A lawyer, you say? That would explain it.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, he he cheated on his boss. No, he has an affair with his boss's secretary.
Adultery.
Girlfriend.
Oh, again, this all makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, we've got a plan for him, actually.
Oh, a plan. What?
Yeah.
Please do tell.
And I kind of look at Terrell and I'm like, it's yeah, we well, we've got some business arrangements that he's a particularly knowledgeable about, and we are hoping to leverage that knowledge for our advantage.
Okay. In what kind of leverage are you trying to achieve here?
Legal leverage, actually. Legal leverage. Yeah. Above the board kind of legal leverage.
He almost looks like you've just pulled the plug on him, and it's like he visibly deflates. And he's still shaking, kind of holding onto your hand, and one hand claps over the other two of you, your hand and his. That's maybe the point when you look down, you see this red scaly skin, black nails, almost ending in claws, as he taps both of your hands clasped together. And there was me thinking that I could potentially get some fun while I do some collecting.
I'm sorry.
Go on, you crazy kids! Get the hell out of here! And he just gestures. When he waves like that, he just has a regular hand.
It's
How do you want us to get out? The ladder or the?
He just gestures to the ladder.
Okay.
Nice seeing you. Take care.
Maybe seeing you again sometime.
It's possible. It's possible.
Right. And yet he just watches you if you descend into the hole.
As I climb down the ladder, isn't that guy dead?
I don't really want to ask.
Wikipedia has your answers. Shame we haven't got cell phone reception out here. Who's last in the hole? Was it still going to be Tyrrell?
Yeah.
Okay. As you get about maybe about five to six rungs down, that's the point when you can see Rod looking down over down the hole at you with a grin. As with one hand he reaches up and then pulls the statue. This statue that took the three of you to move. He picks it up with one hand and closes the hatch with a massive thud.
That's it
As it
when there
does,
was already a hatch lid.
yeah, I mean, the angel statue coming down over the top. As he does so, there is this sudden feeling that there should have been a ladder here in front of you, and there is this falling motion for all of you. There is this splash as you all end up what seems to be maybe a combination of feet first, or some of you as you flail end up maybe going face first down in the water and down into the mud and the grime and the algae all around you. As you looking around, maybe some of you gasping for breath and pulling yourself out as you are back in these set of ponds with algae all around you and all these frogs screaming at you that you can now all see dotted around you. That you're face first in the well, maybe not the frog pond, but definitely somewhere near the pond where there are these different little pockets of water. As the sun is just about angling towards the horizon.
That's a little weird.
Yeah, Quinn stands up and like he definitely face planted. He's just looking up like.
I never want to experience something like that ever again.
Gonna make a fortune.
What?
This stuff is. Did you see what I saw? It was.
Yes. I'm gonna. Yeah. Yeah. But we saw some other things too.
Shared hallucinations. That's crazy.
It's really weird. Yeah, I think maybe Quinn. Yeah, it's time to kind of like not think about business for a while. Just kind of put yourself in vacation mode for a while.
How about changing your identity mode?
No, I understand. No, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's just go.
Floretta here can help you with that kind of stuff. Actually, she's really good at those things.
Yeah, give it time.
Changing identities.
Yeah. With the process of witness protection, maybe.
You're in witness protection.
Are you a Fed?
No, of course. No, I'm not.
I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Wait, what?
Are you a Fed?
I'm not a Fed.
You sure about that?
No. Is
she a Fed?
It's nothing like
not a Fed.
that. No.
I've got interested business parties who have connections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works like witness protection program.
See, I think you're legally allowed need to tell me if you're a Fed or not, right?
No.
Technically no, but
God
also
damn.
let's just everybody we're all still
get out of the lake.
Yeah, no, it's let's get out of the lake. Let's all just stay calm. Nobody needs to shoot anybody here. Let's just make that clear. And if you are a Fed, we're all okay with it right now. This is a safe area. And who has guns? Just show of hands. Who has no. Okay. No, this is good. Yeah, let's what's the way out of here, you two?
Grover, you are fairly certain that, say, southeast should be the direction that would get you towards that trail running to the north.
That way.
Southeast. Yeah.
Great.
That way. Yeah.
And indeed, if you start trekking off in that direction, thankfully, no white picket fences, and you do eventually hit the hunting trail, where you find there's a couple of old cabins out in this part of the woods. Obviously haven't been used for a long time. A couple of them have got, when you go past them, have this kind of eerie setup that you see these stakes out on the ground where there are heads of animals, a couple of foxes and deers and such in alternating patterns, forming this ring around this particular cabin. But yeah, other than that, apart from that kind of spooky scene as you go past, there's no sign of anyone out here. but you do eventually get back towards the Devil's Claw, back where you started.
Look, we're gonna have to. The three of us are gonna have to get out of here alone without you three,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to handle the algae.
Right. Well, you're taking the algae. Yes, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes.
if you want to keep some, go ahead. But we just
No,
need.
no, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Here you go. It's you just take all of it. I'm out.
You're a dead
You
man.
sure? You sure? Like you could take some of this. Like we don't need to tell how much was collected.
Quinn
You want a
is
few vials? No problem.
Quinn is deeply worried that this is somehow a trap. Like, no, I don't think. And he's like looking at the siblings like, don't. I don't think I want to have my hands on anything like that right now. We're just gonna
No
all
problem.
calmly just put that over there. Tell you what, Floretta, you're we're cool, right? So maybe you guys come back tonight and witness protection us.
Well, something like that, certainly.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. I hear Houston is wonderful this time of year.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's someplace that that he can't find you.
I think yes, that sounds great. I know people there. I can make this work. The sisters and I will just sit out at Devil Claw and brainstorm new identities. So we'll sit under the apple tree way up there.
Yeah,
under
works for
this
me.
Under this almost dead tree, with this single lonely apple hanging from the hightmost branch, and that's where you start planning the rest of your lives going forward. So if we have almost the main curtain at this point would descend to black, and if this was a film, this would be the kind of the end credits sequence or the mid credit sequences interspersed between them. So, Terrell, what happens when you go back to the town? What story do you give? Oh, this is mainly for like Terrell, Floretta, and Grover as the locals. What story do you give to Wincliffe? What happened out there? How did you take care of business?
You got the vials. Hand them across the table. You're never gonna see them again. Ever.
Oh, that's good. I don't want to know where they're buried. All fine.
Great. You tell Wiseman it's taken care of.
Okay, and I'll get these over. Morelli will take these over by courier tomorrow.
Great.
And
I
you do
could go
notice
for some steak.
he there's plenty of steak. He takes one of those vials for himself and says, "Put this with the rest," to Morelli.
Rest, huh?
Mhm.
Great. I just have a haunted look on my face.
No, you go looking for some more meat to occupy your taste buds.
To appease.
What does Floretta do?
I think I would, I guess, report back to Wincliffe as well, and just as a matter of course, and then go back and I guess call my commanding officer, whoever, the police commissioner, and I don't know how police work.
To debrief, and again, they're interested. Any hard evidence that you have that would connect Wincliffe to any crime, they're still trying to build a case to nail on him, but they require hard proof and evidence. They can't have just like hearsay and circumstance. So again, that's an ongoing operation that you'll just still need to get something more solid to be able to build any kind of case against him.
But I'm bringing Quinn with me.
Oh, so you're giving Quinn and the two sisters over.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, in which case,
that was the whole point of this.
in which case, that's.
Oh, you just arrest them?
Yeah, we
No,
Oh.
they're witnesses. I'm bringing them in for protection.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if you were just letting them go and
No.
like say no, you can run and go find your own life from here.
No, they're going to testify.
Right?
Fuck,
for sure.
In which case, then, yeah, there's there's obviously this is a big step forward to building some kind of
Yeah.
case towards Wincliffe. In fact, to the point where where your commissioner will draw in some help from the FBI and calls in a certain contact he has in the Kansas City regional office, a man by the name of Jim Lewis, who comes to you in a meeting that has he dresses quite formally, say black shirt, black jacket, white shirt, very prominent red tie, and yeah, comes to the meeting and says, "Yeah, I think we can start building a case here, but there's some things I probably ought to fill you in on about this Potter's Lake that you've been working undercover in." And he
Hmm.
slides a red tie across the desk towards you. And Grover, how does this manifest for you?
Grover will go back to what was his name? Winecliff,
Mhm.
and just say it's successful trip. It all went smooth.
Okay, good. He's interested to know if there's anything that you saw out in the woods, like any. I've heard weird occurrences obviously happen out there. What kind of things did you see, if anything?
Uh, Not really much. Lots of trees, birds, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Okay, he looks almost disappointed, but
yeah.
uh,
Like I said, it was real easy in and out, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Hard to
fair enough.
find though. That pond was hard to find. Actually, it was pretty challenging.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard it's a bit difficult. I've heard some folks when they really want to go looking for it, they never find it. In which case,
yeah,
there's probably
it's way off the beaten track. Actually, um, to be fair, I'm not even sure I can find it again.
mm, it's weird. In which case, if you seem pretty good at navigating the woods, there may be some things I want to go looking for at a later date. If you seem to be quite resistant to any of the weirdness that I've heard, obviously going on out there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, I'll entertain any job. Just let me know.
Yeah, so I think there's definitely some things I've heard of that are out there that I probably want you to go looking for.
Okay.
Right, Quinn and the two girls, the two sisters. So you're presumably being handed over to police custody,
Mhm.
going eventually off to the Red Tie Division over in Kansas City.
I like
What's your play here? What do you want to try and get out of this?
I think he is completely flummoxed by this because I was double checking. He's not actually a very good lawyer. So
No, he
this
isn't.
this came out of left field where he's like, we're gonna get a new identity. I'm gonna have to grow a mustache, and then Floretta basically drives us to the police station, and I'm imagining we're getting just split up, and Quinn is just he's going with the flow. Like he just knows like I'm gonna get arrested and they're gonna make me witness, and he's just in the back of the cruiser waiting for them to start processing him, and he just takes the flask and takes another hit, and again does the algae.
Oh, oh boy.
And he's just kind of looks at it, shrugs, and starts
Yeah,
just
with that
drinking the rest of it.
with that horrible taste in your mouth. Maybe then, as you're looking away, trying to get this good green flecks out of your mouth, you might catch between the gaps in the Venetian blinds in the FBI's office that Jim Lewis seems to have a conversation with a very very nicely, very sharply dressed lady in a business suit. Definitely they have a talk. You almost get the smoking man or cigarette smoking man vibes off this lady. After then, Jim comes out of the office with a series of papers and airplane tickets, where he informs yourself away from Floretta and with the two sisters. Yep, we've got your relocation all set. You're going to be moving to Alaska, so you're going to be going up to Anchorage. You're on the next flight. Don't worry about any of this Wincliffe business or anything else for that matter. We'll just make you disappear.
Lovely. Um, Can Ashley come too?
Yeah, that's all three of you. Yeah.
All three.
Yeah, so
All
you, Ashley, Denise.
wonderful. Just takes the
And again, Denise kind of wraps her arm around you and kind of lovingly looks into your eyes and goes, "We're going to have a lot of fun up there, kid."
Love it.
That's when the end will roll by on our credits.
Awesome. Very fun. Thanks for running this, Matt.
Hey, no
Thank you.
worries. Yeah, a little bit into some of the weirder insights of one of the very, very odd bits of the Potter's Lake setting.
Any questions that players have before we wrap up?
I do have a question actually. Is like
Uh-huh.
when you were laying out the different tracks that we could have gone down, did it make any particular difference which direction we went?
Oh, very much so. Because it depends ultimately what route you take it's gonna impact kind of sandbox elements that go later into the scenario. There's different parts or different weird things that are happening out in the woods. Going to Megiddo's Hill was kind of the one I was kind of really hoping you would go for. Depends on how much spoiler territory you want to get into here as to what do you want me to reveal what Megiddo's Hill is, or do you want me to skirt around such
let's
issues?
keep it light, and then that way if we return here we can have some more, because this RPG is very tied into the setting, so spoilers are kind of tricky for it, I think.
Yeah. Okay, well, skirting around that, going to Megiddo's Hill attracts the attention of something. That something wore the face of Rod Serling as a way that you wouldn't necessarily know exactly what it was.
Okay.
And that thing then accompanies you throughout the rest of the scenario. If you end up at Mulberry Street without that thing with you, then it can't necessarily affect the hallucination that you're having, because the Mulberry Street is a hallucination brought about by the being in proximity to the frog pond, which is why Grover was able to see this thing standing apart from the illusion, because he was the only one that passed his roll when you all got to the outskirts of the pond. Everyone else
Okay.
just takes the whole description of that hallucination at face value, whereas he can see this kind of puppet master controlling bits of it in the background.
Does that mean I still have the $5? Or I don't? I don't.
Unfortunately, no. When you if you go into your pockets later, you just find leaves and got detritus you
No.
picked up off the floor in the woods. It's
I don't
about
know
a
why, but
pocket full of dirt.
yeah, the frogs that only one player could see all screaming quiet like is very visually terrifying, because we're just going around with vials surrounded by frogs we can't see.
Yeah, I've tied them into part of the deep backstory of Potter's Lake, which is what kind of part of me is kind of glad and part of me is kind of disappointed you didn't catch the first word that they were echoing.
Yeah.
Because they're, at least in my version of the frog pond, they're echoing the screams and the cries and desperate pleas of some people that met their end out there. And that first would have been the name of the person that they were basically saying, no, don't do this. Because that connects him with one of the more tragic backstory elements of the town.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, we'll talk a little bit more after, but I'll wrap it up for now. Thanks for watching another RPG Reanimators It's Alive actual play of Heaven and Earth. We have another video where Matt and I talk for a fair little bit about the setting. It's very cool. We'll have links in the bio, and we hope you'll stay tuned for another episode of It's Alive actual play. Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.